Happy Friday! Hello! That sound means it's time to party. Doesn't feel as cold as it should be. Whatever. Welcome. It is Friday. I hope you all had a good week. Select here. Okay. Hello. Oh, I probably should. It's a bit better. There we go. Gotta get the chair. Actually, hold on. We got. Put that there too. I don't even know if you can see him. A little bit. A little bit. He's there. Okay. So I can see chat. Okay. We are working on some more Rathalos stuff. Heads up though, I did schedule for tomorrow morning the morning coffee stream on YouTube. I've been trying to do them monthly, but I think I'm just going to do it following any video because I can kind of go over stuff in the video if people are curious. It's just going to be an AMA and behind the scenes type thing. So feel free to stop by that. It's at 11 a.m. Central Time. I forgot what that is in UTC. Actually, I don't know what that is in UTC. I think it's 5 p.m. UTC. Well, thank you, Jojo. I appreciate it. And I know you like the MLP stuff, so here you can watch some dragon stuff. I've been trying to make at least one of these every time I make something for Pony, because these are usually pretty quick. This one's going to take a little longer. For those that don't know what it is, I am working on for this. It is Rathalos in a dumpster. Mike will be. Well, Mike's right here. See, it's Mike. No, he got home. Just haven't heard him come in yet. So. Anyways, so, but this is Rathalos in a dumpster. So we're going to have, I don't know how loud that is going to be. Yeah, or it's just not going to play at all. Oh, there it is. And then they're going to fly in the dumpster. We're working on that a little bit. So we're going to have a little rainbow behind them, and it's going to be, I don't know what it's supposed to be yet. I'm just going for like drugs is the best I can come up with for that. Though I should name these because otherwise I'm not gonna have any idea what these are. This is right. Because I think we did this like over time last stream, and so I kind of just said whatever. If you are not in the habit of naming things, name your stuff. Okay. Because it really comes in handy. A couple of the first videos I ever did, I didn't do organization and I didn't name things different. I just went with them as they are, and making something small. maybe you can get away with it. But if you do anything that starts getting up to lots and lots of stuff, it's gonna you're gonna very, very, very quickly fall into this hole of I have no idea what this is, and then you're just digging through things trying to figure out what's what, and that's just gonna waste time and effort and demotivating. Green. There we go. So now I know what those are. So now if I need to change something, I can just go boop, it's left one. So for turning things on and off, that really comes in handy. I mainly did this though because hello Moon, and hello Sir Edward, hello Rainbow Dash. It's weird to say that. We're gonna do main. I'm gonna call it main under, but it's kind of a weird name. I did finish the one we started the other day. That is all done and out on YouTube. If you're interested, I did originally state that I was going to, with that video, do no lighting, and I ended up going back and actually adding lighting to it. Because when I started poking at it, I was able to get the lighting to look 3D but still be fully lit, which is normally I have a lot of difficulty with day shots, but if you actually look at what the final is for that, I am actually really happy with the lighting. So I think the main thing I had to do is just I had to move the underlight to a little bit on this direction and then brighten it up a bit. But I'm really happy with how that lighting turned out. And the reason I ended up doing that was because this shot looked pretty bright, but then the Trixie shot was like very bland. And so I needed to turn on the lighting to actually have it look better. So that was kind of my main reason for it. Okay. I'm gonna eventually have to find music for this. I'm gonna have to find some like pixel music. And I don't want to have it too blurred in the background either. I think it might be a little too bright right now, because I think what I might want to do with this is drop the brightness just in general so that everything's a little darker, and then have like different colored lights stream past them to make it look like sparkles or something. I don't know. I'm really just pulling this out of my ass. So this is going to be the drug trip. But for now, ooh, creepy. I need to get some of these set up. So they're kind of what is with their eyes? Oh, that one's fine. I felt like her eyes were kind of cooked. I don't know why. Whatever. Oh, I think I know why. Yeah, this one's just not showing up the same. So we need to get them kind of adjusted so that... Oh, this is going to be the walk-up shot, so I actually don't need to do too much on this. I could use this walk-up animation, but if I do... His head is super low on the walk-up shots. And I need to have his head higher. Mike, what the hell is my butt? Are you drawing something again? Is it gonna have butts? It technically means though that at least for this shot, there's not much I need to do for planning. So that's mainly the thing I'm thinking about right now. Is his eyes still feel weird? Yeah, I think it'd be fine. So these are the ones that I'm more curious about. So do I have to lip sync this? Yes, I will. And it's actually split. That's going to be messy. I can manage. Yeah, let's do the lip syncing now, because otherwise I'm going to be kind of having issues. So I'm marking these because I'm going to have to readjust some of these to make up for some of the differences here. So I'm going to have to move this, or for the lip syncing. Yeah. You weren't here, so chicken took your place. It's chicken stream. No, he can't see.
He's looking at you.
That's even weirder.
Watching you.
See, now I know where to go back to.
Mouth is just hanging open as he stares. He's like screaming.
And he's like Kermit the Frog. Okay. These things were just coloring it. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that picture. Okay. Been working on your favorite creatures.
Apparently, he's working on where the hell is my butt?
You ate it before.
I see.
It's now he's coloring it. Why is... So I need him to do that, and I need to playhead it because it's moving. Okay. So I like how on the new video I put out, you had to like leave the first annoying comment.
What's the last annoying comment?
Comments last on the video. The one thing that gets a little frustrating is, so for Patreon and stuff, I have the videos released early, and some people leave a comment, but then the video will say it was released the date that I actually make it public. So it'll say one date, but then there'll be comments from days before, and I'll always eventually have somebody that comments, wait, how does that work? Why is this comment from before? And there's one of them that I think was like, oh, thanks, Headphone Game. Appreciate it. Resubscribe. It is very cool. Thank you very much. No, there'll always be somebody that's like asked that question, and I've had a video once, I think it was released like 2 weeks early. So there's comments from 2 weeks before the release date, and they're like, wait, how does that, what? No.
Their minds just collapsing on themselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, because then they think that they're missing out on something, or was this out earlier than I thought about, or something? Yeah. Especially since after a certain amount of time, the dates don't. It'll say like 1 year ago, and it won't give exact dates. So you have to. You wanted the green cup. Yes, that is his Twitter handle. You can spam it. It is Mike.
Spammed you.
US Bank just emailed me. Could your account be safer? That's creepy. Considering that in the last three weeks I've had it flag fraud alerts on purchases I have legitimately made, I'm thinking it's overly safe. And then that's like an hour ordeal. I had it once. It was a fraud alert for something. So then they called me. And the first question they ask is, can you please give us your entire credit card number? And I'm like, no. I said, no. And they're like, well, we need it to verify your account. I'm like, why would you need my full number? And then the guy, at least smart enough, he goes, did you call us or did you get a call from automatic call? I'm like, it was an automatic call. He goes, okay, completely understandable. He goes, look online, grab the correct number, the number from there, call so you're more comfortable. Yeah. Which thankfully it wasn't somebody going like, you could trust me. I'm from the phone.
I'm from the internet.
So yeah, he was completely legitimate. Because if I get some transfer to some random guy that's like, hey, I only need your credit card number, your full social security number, the color of your eyes, your current weight.
Yes.
Are you O positive or O negative?
I always find it like people are always like they're gonna go through all this fancy stuff to steal your identification. I had my identification stolen once. You know what crazy cyber security thing they got me on? There's a waitress at Denny's who just walked in the back with my debit card because she said it wasn't scanning right up front. That's all it was. And she took it in the back and bought herself a video game.
I don't even know how people think they can. Like, I can understand if somebody steals your credit card online, and usually they're smart about how they do things. But like, if it's just somebody at a restaurant or something like that, it's so easy. Like, most people have it set to, at least I have it set to text anything over $20, and nobody's going to steal under $20. So
back then, I didn't even have a phone.
Yeah.
But she got away with it because I couldn't prove it was her. All I know is she walked in the back of my car. Somebody bought a game.
You never got the money back?
No, because I couldn't prove who did it.
It was
couldn't prove it wasn't me.
Well, most like banks right now, the cost of losing you as a customer isn't worth the cost of dealing with it at all. So, but that's why I buy on credit card. Yeah. Because they can. It's on a check card you're spending your money, on a credit card you're spending their money, and until you pay them back, it's still their money. So, if there's a fraud alert, you just say that's not me, and then the bank has to handle it. But if it's a checking account, then they spent your money, and you have to get your money back. It's a lot bigger hassle. Credit card to me is a lot easier for the fraud stuff, but I've also had my issues with it too. Oh, you followed Michael. Aw, you got a follow on Twitter. Oh, now you're at like 3 people. Oh, is it 5 now?
Yeah, I'm famous.
Mm-hmm. See all your retweets about political stuff and
some of it. Most of it. I try to keep most of that on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. You know, Facebook's a better place for it. It's already a trash bin.
Yeah.
I'm considering just deleting my account on there.
Well, what about your parents? How will they contact you?
They deleted theirs. I only use it for the local meetup group, but I have enough people I know that just tell me when things are, so I'm learning so much right now. Really?
Facebook is mostly for family, Twitter's mostly for friends, though there is some crossover on both. No family on Twitter though. They can't see that mess.
Well, regarding SFM, if you're trying to learn or you're trying to figure some stuff out, if you have any questions, or like if I did something and you're like, what the hell did you just do? Let me know. One of the main purposes of the stream is to assist people, if they have any questions that come up. So feel free to ask any questions, and I will gladly answer if I can remember what it was that I did. So, actually, kind of enjoy that. I was reminded of a quote today of one of the best ways to determine if you're a master of something is by teaching it to somebody else. So it's always nice to teach because it helps remind me of what I do.
He wants you to call him master also.
Well, yeah, and Kelchin, you're farther away too. Like in that kind of a situation where you're like living in a whole other country for a while, I can see that as actually a pretty neat thing. From my perspective, for why I live by everybody, and also I like keeping to myself. So I tend to not do anything with that. And like I had an issue with, I went to one of the meetups, and this was years ago. And so because I do the YouTube thing, one of the people there was like, hey, can I get a picture with you? So they took a picture with me, posted it to Facebook, tagged me. And now I have a picture on my Facebook with some girl from there. And then I have relatives that are like, who's that? I'm like, you're making this awkward for no reason. So I have not updated my Facebook for probably like, I think it still says I'm 3 jobs ago, just because I haven't touched it. I don't need them data mining my crap.
Got pictures of cute puppy though.
Yes, all my all buddy pictures. Mm-hmm. But that's about it. Like otherwise, I don't bother because it's just it's like a dump for personal information that then I have lost control of, and
mostly just use it to like.
Who you dating for that split second? Nobody. I was just a picture. Don't do this. No, it was.
Don't listen to him.
No, it was just, it made that different because I don't really, outside of like the medium that YouTube is and the area around it, I tend to not bring up stuff like that I do with that. I'll sometimes bring up that I do like YouTube part-time. That's about the most I'll say. And if I ever ask for details, I tend to try to skim it as low as possible. So because of that, when those pictures pop up like that, they're seeing it from not that perspective. So. Why?
Only time will tell.
If I get tagged on Facebook, I'm deleting my account immediately.
I'm not going to tag you on Facebook.
That's what it was for. I don't want anybody thinking of dating chicken.
Well, nobody on Facebook.
It's Facebook.
No, nobody reads Facebook. We're doing this on Twitter.
Oh. Wonderful. No, I'm actually a little bit back on this. I'll probably move the whole thing, actually. So we're going to stretch it a little bit. So I need lips out here. Not teeth out. Lips out. So this R, which technically is teeth, so that's why I have this one. Don't leave us hanging inquiring minds. Good to know. There's nobody. I've been single for, I think, 10 years now. I had a very, very rough relationship that ended badly and has left me unwanting to be in a relationship for a while. Till best food holiday. Yeah, and actually my work gives us a free turkey every year. So I picked that up on Thursday. And so I got a free turkey in my fridge. And because our family is kind of dwindling down our normal like 13, 14 person holiday to like a couple of groups of stuff. So it's just me, my parents, and my sister. The size that I think it's an 11.5 pound turkey. It's big enough for 4 people. It's perfect. I also have the next week off because I just decided to use some of the built up vacation I had from non-conventions this year to just take next week off. So I am off for the next 9 days. This should be pretty nice.
As mine.
Are you leaving tomorrow still?
Yeah.
Driving?
No.
Oh, you are flying still? What time's your flight?
Like 12:30.
How are you getting there?
I was going to figure that out after the stream.
Oh, okay. Because I scheduled tomorrow the 11 a.m. stream.
Okay.
Because it was after video.
Well, don't worry about it. I'll just like do parking or something.
2:30. Yeah, unless you wanted to get there really early.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being there really early.
Like,
how much do you think parking is?
Parking at the airport, it depends. There's 2 different lots you can park at. If you park if you park right there, it's expensive. It's like 20 or something a day. But if there's another one a little bit off site that you can take like a bus in, and that one is like, I think it was like 10 or 11 a day.
I want to take the bus in, but
because that's a whole week.
Mm-hmm. It's a whole week and then some.
don't park at the. Take an Uber would be cheaper. Yeah, because you're going to be probably spending. I would like plan for like $25 a day to park there. If you're parking at the convenience spot.
Like anything where I can get onto the rail. That's what I was thinking.
Mall of America.
I don't think I could park there all week.
No, you wouldn't.
Otherwise, everybody would just do that.
So this needs to be. Okay, so as my normal, for people that haven't seen me lip sync, I usually skip the open parts, go to the next syllable, then I go back to the open because it's easier time. So dumb. Okay, dumb. But it goes right from M to P, so it's dumb. My dumb. Okay, I'll still go back.
Dumb.
Let's see, because you have to think like when you think of M, you're like M, pull back, but P is a forward letter. So if you say, if you go right from an M to a P, your mouth might actually still make the M sound, but be more towards the front. So it's about like, how does it connect? Otherwise, it's going to look like a lot of really, really quick random syllables that works, but doesn't really feel natural and usually just feel floppy. Why aren't you watching my stream?
I'm watching your stream.
Why was there like digital noises?
Because commercials.
On my stream?
For Tostitos Pizza, yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why Tostitos Pizza?
I don't know, maybe.
I thought I had pre-roll ads off.
No, you got ads. I'm like a doctor. I'm sorry, sir, but you have ads.
No.
How long does a Tostitos Pizza take?
No, it's molten. I burned my mouth. No, there is a way to like hit a button on Twitch that you can force an ad to play for everybody, and if you do that, it will disable pre-roll ads, I think, for a bit. But I thought you could just fully disable them, and I guess not. Just use ad block. I don't care on Twitch for ad revenue. Ad revenue on Twitch is horrible. What did you post? Oh, you posted the picture. Why'd you put S19 at the end?
I don't know. That was just there. I don't know where that goes.
Comes with Monster Hunter Dual Blades. Where is it? I want to kill Rathalos. He's right there. Sweet. Right there. See, he's right there. I can't poke him in the eye without having my mouse. See, it's like poke.
You've done it. You've shattered the fourth wall.
He's blind now. See that?
Why his eyes are going blue.
That's why his eyes are blue.
They're like pale. He got pale, glossed over eyes.
No, he's just angry. M is a hard one to do. I got another pizza pockets burning on air frying them. I haven't made pizza rolls or pizza pockets for a long time. Press the add button. No, I'm not pressing the add button. No, ad revenue on Twitch is so insignificant compared to anything else that's on Twitch. The support from community and everything is like 99% of anything. Anything on ads is just completely stupid. It may be if you have a very large channel, kinda, but even most of them don't care about ads either because they'd rather have the viewing experience and not take that away. And I hope they never keep the mid-roll ads. The mid-roll ads to me are just a stupid idea on Twitch. Because they're like, hey, you're watching some really cool stream, and then a guy goes for that like perfect shot in Rocket League, and then right before it hits the goal, or you even know if it's going to hit the goal, ad pops up. And like, it works for TV because you're interrupting a scripted thing, but on a live show, no. I mean, they're already ruining it with the DMCA stuff, but whatever.
But I gotta know when I can eat pizza. And it turns out it's in the morning, in the evening, and even at supper time. Because it's on a bagel.
No, we're talking about pizza rolls and stuff.
Well, now bagels are in the mix.
Well, no, the pizza rolls were better than pizza bagels.
Yeah, pizza bagels are nasty.
They were just
novel.
They were like a super cheap tomato sauce and a super cheap cheese covered in butter and on the cheapest bread you can make.
Mm-hmm. They were garbage.
No, they weren't good. I mean, it was cool because you could like take two of them together and you make like a pizza bagel sandwich. But other than that, no.
I've made homemade pizza bagels. That's pretty good.
Trying to come up with something waiting for a response to that pick. I can't think of anything clean. Nah, that's fine. You can keep it to yourself then. I know it's a touchy thing. I tend to use ad block because I can support the creator. I love my subbing with Twitch Prime, or what, even get money that way. Yeah, and that's that's why I said like a single subscription is worth way more than any. I could play ads on here like 10 times and it would not make as much as a single sub. So no, they make a much larger and bigger difference. YouTube's a little different because of how their views work. On Twitch, it's live viewers compared to YouTube, where it is cached users, and those you can build up. You can build up thousands of views over time. So YouTube per 1,000 views is actually about probably about half as much as Twitch, but Twitch, you're always going to have a much lower amount of people watching live. And then once after the stream's over, the ads mean nothing. So that's why it's kind of like meh. I was going to say also, can't remember the next part, but I was just going to accept that. Looks for those. It's a fish. It caused me so much pain and suffering. Must kill it. No, Razzle's a good boy. Okay, he's a good boy.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he doesn't visit his mom
Thanks,
as often as he should.
Thanks for the follow, Jeff.
It's the face of somebody who doesn't visit their mother.
I
said he doesn't visit his mom as often as he should, so he's kind of not. He's not the best boy.
I'm thinking now like Razzle's mom would be like
Razzle's and like.
And you remember the mom from the intro to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Like his actual mom, or like the aunt?
The one showed in the intro.
Oh yes, just the mom.
Yeah,
yes,
like
exactly. Just put Rathlos in that clothes, and that's. They just did a reunion.
I can't. Yeah, here's something like that. Yeah, so.
Yes, careful. The copyright fairies are watching.
That's right.
Sprinkle you with copyright.
There.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking like that. It would just be Razzle.
Yes, the hairnet.
The hairnet, like yeah, the glasses,
yes.
And that's Razzle's mom. And it's always gonna be like he's like, but mom, and then she's gonna like grab him by the ear and just yank him. Have you played Monster Hunter? I think it's a pain in the ass to kill. Oh yeah, well that's why I kind of play with them on here, is because I got them from there. No, we played a lot of Monster Hunter. I got one character mostly way through the game, and then we started second characters. And we're almost done with Iceborne, and I am looking forward to Rise.
Oh, are they doing another expansion, or is this a whole new game?
It's a whole new game for Switch.
I don't have a Switch.
I thought you bid on one on eBay.
I didn't win that bid. I also bid on a horse I didn't win.
No, it's the new one. There's actually 2 games coming out for Switch next year. So there's Monster Hunter Rise, which is the standard Monster Hunter experience, but with like 2 pets and a doggy.
And
$400. They're hard to find. That's like that. No, that sounds like you're paying over. You should.
Well, I haven't paid anything.
Well, I thought they're like 300.
They were. They all went up.
Well,
because of the demand.
That's not my problem.
Everyone's stuck in their houses.
That's why I got mine when it was cheaper. Actually, I got mine originally because I was doing a lot of traveling for work, and it's really nice on a plane. That and some of the games early on. It's just a nice party game system for when people are over.
I'll have to try again this week when I'm not doing anything. See if I can get one for at least $300, because I'm not spending $400 on what is it, like a 3-year-old gaming console at this point?
They're supposed to come out with like a pro version or something at some point, but it's the news has been really low on that. Make them do something stupid. I must laugh at it so I can feel some kind of happiness. Well, there is the stupid face thing, but I'll do it for you. Let's see here. What can we have him do? That's a lot of caps. Check art share. Oh God.
Did you color your non-existent butt? Yeah, you did.
Yes. Where is my butt?
It's gone.
It's gone, and I got a wrinkled nose.
You got the.
And so much fluff.
He's very foof.
He is very foof.
You gotta have the foof.
I hope I find it, because having a butt is very useful. Actually, I'm gonna give this a butt.
Yes.
I found the butt. It's a purple butt, but it's a butt.
To all the emotes.
Yes, I do. Let's see, Rathalos. We can have him do. We can do like we did with him. On the other Rathian.
Well, now you have another stupid face.
Oh, that's there. That'll cover this. We'll do. Let's see here.
All right, chicken.
Can I thought I had issues on scaling from the rig though. Yeah. What the? There. I hope this works. My name is Rathalos. I can count to M. Look, he's got at least a couple diseases. Hello, Elias. How's it going? Play Monster Hunter World, and you understood my pain. Yes. No, actually, I always played, or I've been playing Insect Glaive, and I find Rathalos actually isn't that bad with that, but it's because you can stay in the air. That's been his most annoying part. Okay, glad that worked.
I've been playing Lance and Shield. It takes me a little while, but I can take on a lot of monsters. I've taken on Rathalos by myself on the.
Doesn't mean he's not annoying.
Difficulty. No, he's annoying.
That's the idea.
You gotta grapple him a lot, especially with the Lance. I feel the only way I really do damage to him is to just grapple him.
Yeah, but it's like anytime we play multiplayer, like you spend half your time grappled to the monster.
Because they don't stand still and the Lance is slow. You have to like cling to him.
So like, you're like, I love this weapon, but I won't use it. I will use this weapon instead.
No, I'm using the Lance when I'm stabbing him. When I'm grappled to him.
How do you stab with the giant lance while you're grappled to the monster? I'm thinking distance.
I don't ask such questions. It comes back and I smack him with it.
Thank you for the sub, Blurred. Oh, welcome back. Welcome, Blurred. Oh, I gotta figure out what's causing that to echo. At least it's echoing for me. I don't know if it's echoing for him. Hello.
Oh. That can't be it.
Yeah, that one should be doing. Is that the only thing that's doing echo, or is the music doing it too? I did play with some stuff with the alert prior to starting. Just the alert. Yeah, I played. Oh, you know what? Maybe that actually does work. Okay, let me know. That would be the recording. I want to put that in the recording. So, okay, let me know. Does
anybody else hear the echo besides Blur?
Let me play that one again. Okay, that was still there. That actually was even cooler echo. Wait, no, that one should still play for me. Did you hear that echo? Or is it just me that heard the echo? Because I think I know what it is then. Give it a sec. Was like a second apart. Okay, so you did hear the echo. Damn. Well, then I better... Well,
heard it too.
One is stream. Oh, I bet you I can't... Well, maybe I can't change this midstream. Well, maybe.
Derpy versus Rathalos. Derpy would win.
Derpy would not win.
She would absolutely win.
Okay. I'm going to try this one other thing. If that doesn't work, then I can't do anything about it right now. So let me know if this is... Oh, I should be able to hear it. Okay, I heard it. Yeah, that's... Okay. Well, we're going to have echoes on that. It'll have double barks. I'll have to poke at it because I was poking at it because I found that it was not recorded because of how my audio thing was set up. It plays through the stream, but it doesn't record it, and I wanted to try to get it recorded. But Derpy versus Rathalos. I don't know why would Derpy win? Like, explain to me how that fight would work.
Well, you see, Derpy would come up on Rathalos. Rathalos would be like, I have to defeat this thing, but then he would be overwhelmed by how adorable she is, and he would take his own life because it had to be one of them. So you can't hurt that; it's too adorable.
So you're saying that
he would sooner die than kill Derpy? Yes.
So if Derpy came and just started like killing everybody on the planet, when we tried to kill her back, it would just speed up the demise of the planet because they would just start dying themselves.
Yeah, I mean, can't hurt that. It's too adorable.
But if that's the case, would just looking at her cause death?
I mean, to a person with a weak heart, yes.
To a weak heart.
Yeah.
Well,
a heart attack. They got the hug, like the hug.
You're still alive. It can't be that strong.
Well, she's not real.
She's not. Oh.
I know that is something that breaks my heart a little every day. But if she were real, I would be like so overwhelmed, I'd probably fall over and be dead. A great day / tragedy.
Great. That just sounds like the title of a book. That'd be like, or would that just be your autobiography?
Yes.
A great day / tragedy. Now you're thinking about it.
I'm thinking like that scene from what was it? What was that movie where the guy rides the bomb down, the black and white film?
I've heard the name before, but I can't think of what it is. It's like, yeah, how weird.
Dr. Love.
Yeah, Dr. Strangelove, I think.
Dr. Strangelove, that's what it was. And that's just like my mental state all the time. Just woo, and I ride it into oblivion. Good old time.
Howdy, Sunset. How is it going on this fine Friday? I gotta finish my random scene build I was doing because I was bored. But lighting is a process. I'm not good with scenes that need depth. No, the lighting or correctly lighting something is hard. Like that's why I mentioned in this video, I originally didn't want to actually add lighting because I am not that good with daytime lighting. And I poked at this and I actually ended up putting in some lights that then looked good. So I kept the lighting. Otherwise, I do not like doing daytime lighting because at night it's easier to show depth. During the day and there's so much lack of depth. It's so difficult to me. And that's why I tend to do more night shots of everything. You fell Dr. Strange, Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, you did.
And how I fell in love with the atomic bomb. Oh, I thought that you said Dr. Strangelove is how you fell in love with the atomic bomb. And I'm like, that's a really weird obsession.
That's just the whole title.
Like you'd watch the movie and then you're just like, people have dockies of like horses and anime characters and you just have an atomic bomb. I hope it's a pillow. Otherwise, I'm calling the Secret Service.
Yes. Hey, you're not supposed to have that.
Bad blurred. Like, no. Bad. Get that out of your bed.
No bombs for you.
That would work for the scene. It's a military thing that would add a flashlight effect. The reason I always find night shots easier is normally you'd put kind of some extra rim lights around the edges of objects so that they stand out from their background, and that in itself gives the depth. So it feels like you're able to skip some steps on things, which really comes in handy. But I just find night shots you can add. It's like you can see every source of light, but in a daylit scene, the light is hitting everything and then is reflecting off of everything. And so to get things correctly lit for a day shot in a software that doesn't really do the bouncing is just horrid. Because it's usually about, like in the Applejack one, I did main 3-point lighting all the way around because normally you can cover all angles for everything, and then an underlight. So to try to cover that fourth angle, but then balancing it correctly so that it's not looking overly evenly lit. And that's why I just don't tend to do daytime shots. So when he does stir,
this guy's writing his Derby versus Rathalos fan fiction. His Derby versus Rathalos fan fiction is playing out.
Slams a piano on Rathalos. Rathalos gets hit and die. A single piano is all it took? Well, then what have we been doing with these giant swords and arrows and lances?
We should have been using pianos.
Yeah, that's what we need. Like, can somebody mod that in? Can you just mod in a piano for a weapon?
That would be probably really easy.
And it's not like a full piano. Like at the end of your lance is just a full grand piano. Like, it's just a blunt weapon now. Sharpen it. Sharpen your piano. It's a C sharp.
Oh no.
Oh, puns. So I need some teeth showing. So this is gonna be teeth out. A little bit of these down. Oh no, I need this one back down. Probably gonna bend these up a little bit more. Now I can do the open. Maybe study some Bob Ross videos. He's all about painting with light. Actually, what I would recommend is watch something that has a similar thing for what you're going for, and just freeze it on a shot and then look at it and figure out, like, how would you replicate that? Because replication is the easiest way to learn something. Definitely find something that fits what you're looking for. Because if you're going for like for the Applejack one, I wanted it to still feel cartoony, and so that's different than realistic. So it is about being more evenly lit. But if you're looking for an ultra realistic movie or something, it'll still give you some tips, but it might not give you the final result you're looking for. But look for examples in the real world of anything you're looking to do in lighting or anything, and then use that to your advantage. There's actually some clips I've seen from some late night TV stuff, like some joke things they've done, and they had some night shots, and I was like, why when I watched that night shot did it feel like everything was so well lit but still at night? And so I dug into it, and I'm like, when I watched it, and I'm like, oh, okay, so they're using this light here and this light here, and by the way they use these couple lights, it still made it feel like it was at night, but it was not. At least how it was lit, or at least we felt it was at night. When we really looked at it, it wasn't. So it's always look for real examples. Somebody already did all the work for you, figuring out how to make that work, and just use their stuff. Oh, this is not correct. Whoop. Let's try that. So this needs to go a little bit forward. Actually, that should be... There already was a little bit forward, so I just need to keep it forward. Sorry that you're going to keep hearing that sound of him going brrr.
That is doing the audio. Lip syncing. Your favorite part.
I hate lip syncing. Kind of want to see that animated now. Is this someone that summoned Super Mario 64's Haunted Piano? I don't remember the Haunted Piano.
From Super Mario 64?
Yeah.
I never got very far into Super Mario 64. I have started it at least 24 times, and I never got past, like, the 5th level, because I would get bored very quickly. On a side note, I probably finished Mario Bros. 3, like, 30 times in my lifetime. Put the heck out of that. Sucker for a good side-scroller, I guess, or just nostalgia. Probably nostalgia.
So I think I can do mostly this, but I'm going to make it a little bit more angry.
Just comments.
Sometime later, please animate Rathal's getting killed by a piano with derpy. No, actually, one of the things that when I started doing the Rathalos thing was I never am going to do a crossover between the two. It would be dangerous.
Certain parallel dimensions would explode.
No, it's more of you have people that like one, and you have some people that maybe like both, but more. If I started doing anything with both, I would be having people from either extreme now confused as to which I am doing and causing conflict I just don't see that going well.
Yes, well, you're never going to do it. How often have you wanted to just, like...
No, I have not wanted to do anything.
Fed a pony to a dragon.
Derpy's the only one I'm okay with that for.
You just want to start feeding ponies.
The only way I can do that is if I could find a much higher definition blood spray.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
Not enough.
I have the pony gib parts. Mm-hmm. That's fine. So then we can just slow it down over time. But I definitely need the higher resolution gore. And plus, I need to get a better system so I can render it in 8K.
Right.
Actually, I think I could probably render in 8K now.
He's like,
I need a special teacher to teach me SFM. I'm good with watching others, but when it comes to putting it in action, I get lost. I've actually considered doing, like, maybe on Discord or something, some kind of a stream that's a follow along to where I, like, have a file that comes with everything that you would need, and it would just be install this, open up this file so we're all starting at the same point, and then follow step by step of how I would do things. But because I think that would be helpful for people, because like you said, it's one thing to see something, but it's to actually start doing it yourself. That's the hard part.
If watching somebody make videos in SFM was enough to make them an expert, I would already be an expert.
You would what?
If just watching somebody make videos in Source Filmmaker was enough to make them good at using Source Filmmaker, I would already be an expert, and I barely know how to use the program, so that's out the window. I can pose models in SFM, that's about it.
Thanks for the follow, Litter Radio. So this, I need to have lip bite. This needs to be pulled way back here. Why is it so far over? Blah, blah. Oh, I didn't move these ones over. So then here his back jaw needs to go down a bit. I'd probably put these up a little bit. I'll do this too. So it's actually really great, like an online course. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. The one difficulty with doing something like that, though, is that everybody's latency is at different times. So, unless you want to have it go really slow, Discord is nice because it's at least a little bit more consistent on timing. But I want to figure out how the logistics of that would work before doing anything like that. I don't think it would be on Twitch, just because, again, that latency can vary. If somebody's having difficulty watching, they can turn on or turn off low latency mode to improve their viewing experience. But in doing so, they're going to, they're going to have a much longer delay. So stuff like that. Rattler is a very expressive mouth articulation wise. Well, thank you. Because I put all that together myself. But that's why I made it that way. I made this exactly with what I needed for lip syncing. The actual model itself didn't have all this. Not to say it had nothing. So the Rathlow's mouth, on how it came with these two bones, though that's connected to the teeth. I never fixed that. And it came with these two bones, but this one isn't really useful for I'll use it a little bit, like up and down. If there's a lot of compression in the mouth or pulling from the mouth, I'll sometimes move it up and down a little bit because it does look better. But it's mainly for, like, if you're going to have them squint, you can do a little bit more up here, or if he's surprised, you can pull it back a little bit more. So you can, I don't tend to use that one as much, but the front ones are pretty useful. Other than that, it was just mouth open, and then the tongue originally only came with this single bone, which is, you can't really do talking like that. So I ended up adding in at least a tongue flex up and down, which isn't exactly like having a bone would be more, have better detail. But in the end, it does what I need it to do. But I am pretty proud of how his stuff came out. But it took me multiple iterations. I think by the time I got to my third video for him, I had figured out how I want to have the lip syncing set up. Until then, it was a lot of testing. And now the ones since then, I've been copying a lot of the same ideas of how I want the mouth to move where. So that's very similar. So he needs to have his mouth open just a little bit here. The only thing I find a little annoying is the jaw right now is under body instead of up here. I can move that. I just haven't done it. Hello, Tool Wrench. It's no derpy stream, so you're okay. How you were demonstrating that.
Well, now you're just going to upset him even more.
It's not a derpy stream. We've actually been talking about derpy, but it's usually in a death sense, so you're done. Fine. Tongue period. It looks so weird and wrong. Oh, how you were demonstrating that? Yeah. Well, but all I need a tongue for in terms of its movement is I need to have the tongue hit the top of the mouth. And then for like your D's and your T's, that's where your tongue is hitting the top of your mouth. And then your A's and your mainly your A's, where if you say A really loud, it's usually that your front of your tongue would probably go down a little bit because you'd be seeing the middle of your tongue. And so for doing that, I have the tongue down so it goes out of the way and I can utilize the back of the tongue. Normally, if the mouth doesn't open that much, even for D's and T's, I don't really have to bother with the tongue very much because if you can't see it, what's the point of working with it? But if the mouth is doing a very wide A, then I will actually adjust that. It's a dumb Rathlos moment. Oh yeah, we have lots of dumb moments.
Every moment with Rathlos is dumb.
You know, some Drippy Stream with Michael is here. You're here, so there's no derpy.
No, it's like the cruel punishment. It's like some horrible things like, yes, you will love Derpy, but she will only be here when you are not, and that is your curse. It's like some ancient Greek curse. If I look at Derpy, she'll turn into a vicious monster. I don't know. When is the next Derpy stream? These are the important questions.
Well, it's probably going to be next Tuesday and Friday, and then I'll never do it again.
Oh no.
Michael's got next week. Don't Michael next week.
Yeah, I won't be here next week, guys. So don't bother tuning in.
Don't bother turning in.
Don't bother turning in. Don't. Just unsubscribe. Dislike. Is there a dislike button? You need one.
I don't. No, Twitch doesn't have a dislike button. It doesn't even have a like button. Does it have a like button? I don't watch much Twitch.
Click the I hate you button. Find that button and click it.
The I hate you button?
Yes. It's just Twitch became incredibly malice.
It's like the opposite of most sites. It doesn't have the like button. It has just dislike.
Just dislike. It worse than dislike. I hate you.
Well, it's like what was it? Like Linus on Linus Tech Tips. He used to have the thing of saying like if you like, dislike if you don't, and it's mainly because neither really matters, and by just interacting with it, it technically will help his stream more, even if you say negative. So it was more about like it's making him look like you're being if you don't like it, that's fine. It really helps us out. Well, it doesn't help them out in knowing what is good or not. It helps them out by giving the interaction, and that's what is needed. So it makes him look like the good guy, and in a way, it's still for the numbers. Here's one of your sons stupid I did when I was a freshman in high school. I remember high school myself. That was just 4 years of stupid. So, but sure, hit us up. I was here for both, but since I ain't going to be here next week, I'm still tuning in for you, Argo. Oh, thank you very much.
Wow. Betrayal.
Now I'm trying to figure out if I want to do anything else next week, because I have the next 9 days off. So I've kind of wanted to I wanted to go back to playing another Final Fantasy. I re-downloaded Final Fantasy 15. I kind of want to play through that again because it's one of my favorites. But I've thought about like playing through Final Fantasy 6 or 7 again, but I don't know if I want to get into streaming any of those, because I feel like once you start a narrative story, it involved one that you'd have to do a lot more of. Or it's like, I want to play it, but then I'd have to stream it because other people are watching.
Play through the original
Final Fantasy? I've played
7.
it. Oh, the original 7. Yeah. I can't play the new remake because my sister has the system. She's playing through right now. Not the remake.
Oh, the remake. Yeah.
I own 7 on... I own 2 copies for PlayStation.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I have 2 copies for the PlayStation, the green greatest hit, so it's not worth as much. Mm-hmm. I own it I bought it on PC before Steam, where the game was fully controlled on the number pad.
Wow.
No controller support.
Yeah, I have that one.
That was annoying. I beat it.
Yeah.
I was dedicated. But I own it on Switch and I own it on Steam. I bought 7 more than any other game.
I have an original copy of 8 upstairs, but I do have the greatest hits for 7. And then I bought the original PC release that uses the numpad, and then I have it on Steam. 7's a great game.
I just don't know if it's quite worth purchasing it 5 times. I've considered rebuying 6 again on PC, but I own it on my phone, and I almost beat it. The main reason I got it on my phone was because I have a Bluetooth Super Nintendo controller that I was using for it, so I could play the Final Fantasy VI from the Super Nintendo with a Super Nintendo controller, and it's from 8-Bit Do, and 8-Bit Do makes the controllers feel and look very much like the original, but just adding the Bluetooth in. So it feels like the original Super Nintendo controller. So that was just super satisfying.
We need to figure out a way to hook up my original Nintendo up to your computer so you can stream the first Final Fantasy.
I've played the first one. Well, Mystic Quest or there's
the very first.
Yeah, I don't know if I played that one.
Fantasy. I played it up to there. Like the whole thing is just you're like the Warrior of Light.
Yeah, I know the story.
And you gotta get like 4 stones. I got the first stone, and then I could not figure out what to do next. And I didn't want to look at a walkthrough because that felt like cheating. So I just wandered around and around and around for hours. Could never figure out where to go. And then I just quit. I was just like...
Yeah, old games didn't have the best direction. If now games, if you quit and you come back weeks later, you can usually figure out where you were. I quit playing Chrono Trigger for like a week, and I legitimately couldn't. I had to look up a guide to what to do next because I could not figure it out. I walked everywhere, and it was pretty bad. Purchased Evil Dead Generation 7 times. Each time the copy got borrowed without permission and never returned. Yeah, I just keep buying. I keep buying some of the games on different medium. That's what I like about Steam, because once I have it on Steam, I really don't see need. Final Fantasy 15, I bought twice. I bought it on. I borrowed it from somebody. Then I liked it enough that when I needed to give it back, I bought it myself and beat it on PlayStation 4. Then when it came to PC, I bought it again, but I did a rush playthrough, main story only, no real side quest. But I really want to go back and play that one again, because it was just, once you fully know the story, it's so much more satisfying to play through. And I'm not talking about like what the story is from what the game shows you, but all the story within all the animes and the Kingsglaive movie and the written bits and everything, when you actually know the story.
I think the cool thing about owning it on PC too is if they bring Final Fantasy 15 out on PlayStation 5, which I wouldn't put past them to do, as a re-released, updated graphics and stuff, just kind of a higher resolution version of all the textures, that they would probably give the PC version an update eventually with those textures as well. Because, I mean, PC just... its limitations are whatever the newest thing is on the market.
There's other things like multi-CPU support, and now with Vulkan and stuff coming out, so there are other limitations that could pop up. I mean, like, for instance, Giz plays Ruin Light, and he can't get above 50 FPS no matter what.
Oh, just because the way the game's
working. It's because it's written in Java, and it just has its other limitations. So there's other things that could potentially be involved. Thankfully, Square has been better with their PC releases. The Final Fantasy VII release with the numpad only for control was so bad that I was like, how could you ever play any what you don't care about PC? And now a lot of companies are starting to do better porting.
I think when I got the game with the numpad, I was able to use a third-party program to program the controller to work with the game, but it wasn't the default setup. It was like I had to tell the third-party program that these buttons mean these buttons on the controller, and I got it to work. But it was a heck of a workaround. I do remember playing the original PC release and having that and be like, nope. I've got to find a way to not do this.
Emily interested in games with solid stories. Only 7 days to die in Star Trek Online. I enjoy games with solid stories, but lately that has been one of the things I've been really, really liking. But kind of through most of the really good story games that aren't like what I was looking for. If you are looking for a really good JRPG type game with a very, very good story, Dragon Quest XI, I've recommended it here before, but it's one of the few JRPGs that I would actually put the effort into 100% achievement, and I did because it was just so good. I think I have like 120 hours in the game or something like that. Spectacular game. And now the new version is being released in a couple weeks, I think, and it will let you play through the entire game in 2D. So it actually, they redid the entire game so you can swap at chapters changes to play it in the original game format, like the old school, like Super Nintendo format, which is really cool and makes me want to buy it again just so I can do that. But it's not an update to the original, so I don't get that. But it was very, very good.
I like
worth it.
I like some games I can just pick up and put down.
That's why I've been really into roguelikes lately.
Yeah.
What's the one I've been playing lately? Nova Drift. Gunfire Reborn is one of those. Yeah. Nova Drift's been my favorite one for doing that for. Though a lot of those, the better you get at it, the longer it takes to finish. Now it takes like 45 minutes to finish the game.
I think the only games I've kind of sworn off and
Sylvando is best character. Well, I don't know. I really liked Jade. Was that her name? I really liked Jade. Really, every character in there was good. I think the only person there's only like one or two that I thought were but everybody else was really good. But Sylvando was definitely the best. People that have no idea otherwise that we're talking about, but it is so good. I want to play through it again. And even though it's probably a game that by playing through it again, you're not going to have near the same experience. It was just when I beat the game, I felt like I still wanted to play more. I beat the game 100%ed it, and I still felt like there was more to do that I wanted to do. And that is a good game when you can do that right. I think I should be fine with this because a lot of these shots are going to be let me swap that. Actually, I don't think I copied that right. A lot of these shots are going to be from behind. I still want to make sure it's done correctly, but there. So the idea for having it change mid-talk was I thought about having it even delayed, like right here. Nice thing is right now I can swap anytime I want, but I need to figure out a background for this. I think I'm just going to do my standard forest thing. Because
you like that, man.
It's a theme. So it's like now anytime I use it, it's Rathalos with the forest.
I feel like you should be like in like a city or something with that dumpster. Like it should be pressed up against the side of a restaurant in like a back alley.
Well,
and then they go into space.
That's what happened here. When they're on the drug trip, it's because they ate the McDonald's that was in there.
I'd do it. Yeah,
it was the McDonald's that was it expired like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. I was just imagining them like in an alley somewhere. Just been like, yep, this is our garbage. This is our trash bin. Let's get in.
You'll see he's like, okay. He goes, whoop. And then he's happy.
Animation done.
Boop. Boop. And then happy.
He dancing. He dancing. Oh, he dead.
No, he's trash ball. He's fine. Go. Wait, where are you?
Oh no, that's his eyes. I don't know where his head is. I think it went up his ass.
That does tend to happen. I see an ear. Wait.
Oh. He's like muffled. Oh, that's horrifying.
Alright, it's... Got it. He's fine. It's fine. It happens. He should be actually rotatable back to normal. Oh, wait.
He sneezed really hard.
He's just... Nope, he is...
Oh no. Oh, well, he's dead.
Where's his pupil? There it is.
There's no coming back.
This is him now.
All.
Thanks for the follow, skateboard.
He's just like, he was like the only male of our species. This is not good.
It's fine.
Well, it's true. It's got Rathaloses.
He is Ganondorf. I was gonna say Gandalf at first.
He is
Gandalf is the only male wizard. He gets all the poo-tang.
That's a very good question. How do wizards procreate? There's only
well, he's like a half god.
There's only male wizards. They gotta have.
It doesn't mean that just because you haven't seen female wizards doesn't mean they don't exist. You don't have to be sexist, Michael.
They need wizlets.
Wizlets? No, I think they're witches.
Well, that would be a warlock and witch situation.
Maybe
wizards.
This is like a dragon and wyvern conversation.
Wizards have licensing.
Licensing?
Yes, they went to proper wizarding school.
To go to what?
You gotta have a license.
Like Harry Potter?
Yes. Those are warlocks, and they don't have the proper license.
But Harry Potter school had wizards chicks in it.
Yeah, it had wizards and warlocks. But you gotta have a proper licensing to be a wizard or a wizlet.
Wizlet.
Yes, this is what...
That sounds like a Pokemon. Wizlet.
Yes, that's how Gandalf talked.
This is
like Gandalf. Shall we follow you towards Mount Doom? And he go, wizard. And he's like, yes, Gandalf, you are wise.
So this is Hermione. It looks like her, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of. This looks like the berries and cream guy from
Berries and Cream.
Berries and Cream.
I like the He-Man. That's the best.
Somebody painted his nose pink.
It's amazing.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
This is the internet.
Oreo.
Is that a new Pokemon? Did they just put wigs on Diglett?
No, this is the Alolan Doug trio. It was the amount of... That's why I searched... I don't know how to spell Alolan, but I knew I'd at least find it. Why did you... God, that guy. Yeah. Which is actually a general title. Both men and women can be called a witch. Yeah, I wasn't sure. It's because I know witch tends to be the negative version, but it doesn't... I wasn't sure. But to me, it's a lot of that, like the difference between dragon and wyvern. When I'll say Rathalos or maybe not Rathalos, but when I took one of the dragons from Skyrim, and somebody's like, "That's not a dragon, that's a wyvern," and it's like, yeah, but dragon, as far as I know, is the more encompassing term, and wyvern is just a better classification underneath it. So, also, that's like the people that tell you that there and there are spelt wrong. If you get your point across, who gives a shit?
That's something I still have to catch myself on when I'm like typing for work. I have to like pause and try to remember, okay, which there am I using?
I don't care. As long as people use speak in such a way that I can understand easily what they're saying, I could care less about whether or not there's a comma there. And trust me, at work, I get sent documents quite often for doing like full check-throughs of grammar because I'm apparently good at it. And so they'll ask me like, is this correct or is this correct? And I'll fix it all. But outside of that, I don't care. As long as the point comes across, it's language. The point of language is to transfer information. Whether or not that is using the correct word per the Webster dictionary does not matter. The information is transferred. Unless I don't like the person, then I will point it out.
Unless I want to be a jerk. Yes, it is. And I am concerned about that question.
So also, Mike, is Zero C an Earth pony?
Yes. Because I tried to think, should I be a unicorn or a Pegasus? And I thought about it, and I'm like, nope, filthy dirt horse. That is me. Can't justify anything else. You had to go and be fancy.
I mainly did Pegasus because it was one of those things when you're younger, like it'd be really cool to fly. So it's more of just if I had to choose.
You were like 27.
Well, no, it's because at that point it was one of those childhood things, so it just carried over. And so the choices, you have 3 choices. Well, you have 4, but we don't count one of them.
Well, we try not.
No, only one person allowed to be Alicorn.
No,
and
Alicorn, red and black OC.
No, Foss is the only one that I can see having a legitimate Alicorn OC.
Yeah, her and the original creator for MLB.
No, she's a dirt horse.
Wow.
Because Alicorns didn't exist then. No, so I think that the choice, you have 3 choices otherwise, and so it's to be cool Pegasus,
wow,
have magic, which is neat, but I don't think that's I wouldn't find as much fun in that, and then it's to have nothing.
No, they grow flowers with their fertilizer.
I could people do that.
They do it quick.
They do it quick.
Yeah, like a snap finger quick.
I've never seen them in the show do that.
Applejack did it a couple times.
Yeah, but she was just using Miracle Grow.
Wow, I mean,
they probably grind down like Granny Smith, and then they just like sprinkle her over the fields, and that's how the Earth Ponies work.
Miracle Grow is ground up Earth Ponies.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So if you're at the store and you want some Applejacks,
okay,
you buy cereal, and then you Miracle Grow.
Let's see. Why do you have to grind up the pone?
I didn't do it. People Miracle Grow.
That didn't do it. General Mills did.
Yes. And grind up the bones.
Hello, Paddocks. I just recently started doing SFM, and I found out on doing YouTube, I was searching for tutors and stuff about SFM, and I really like your SFM stuff. Well, thank you very much. If you do, I brought up this earlier, so yeah, if you have any questions or anything, the main purpose for doing the streams was to provide assistance to people if they need that. So if you do run into things of like, I'm trying to do this and I have no idea what I'm doing, or whatever, I can see what I can do to assist. I mean, there's some things that are there's certain topics that are really hard to cover, of like, how do I do lighting? And it's really hard without knowing what you're trying to light or something like that. But if it's like, this is a problem and I don't know how to fix it, I am here to help. I love the double bark. Thanks for the follow. I'm not even gonna attempt that one. Clip blast new lure. I'm gonna blame the fact that I've had half of a Truly.
Yes, you're hammered now.
Oh yeah.
Hammered time.
No.
Oh. It's just like this is what it's come to. It's like hammer time. Oh.
It was hammered time.
Just do this. Sit in your chair because MC Hammer's got to be like.
That's why you get the wobbly chair, because then you just let the chair do it.
MC Hammer's.
It's more like a twerk.
Late 60s at this point. He's going, oh, my back.
Okay, now you're gonna have to make me check this.
Now you need to know how old MC Hammer is.
58, not quite. He's younger than I thought.
He's got a few years.
Yeah, he's going pretty good. Born in 1962. His name is Stanley Kirk Burrell. Stanley Burrell. That's kind of a cool name.
Sure.
And as far as I can tell, he's still married to the same woman since 1985.
Well, good for him.
Well, I mean, it got moves like that.
You go, oh, dance. He's still got.
Pretty sure that he's making lots and lots of money off his music.
I'm pretty sure he's probably. I think he had that one hit back in like the 70s.
But it's been replayable so much.
Yeah. I'm sure he still gets some royalties off of it, sure. I'm not hearing it on the radio too often.
Another SFM user. I do see a lot of these on here. Yeah, and it would used to be a lot easier when you could legitimately say that you're playing SFM. They removed that from Twitch. So now I say art. Like, I've been streaming SFM now for like 7 or 8 years, and now they remove it. Now that we're seeing a potential for Source 2 coming out, it just seems stupid. But let Twitch do as Twitch does. He dense. SFM 2. Yeah, I might stick with the OG unless 2 is easier to use. So I have actually played with 2. I will say, I'm not giving you a thanks. You just want a derpy. So SFM 2 is better in almost every way, except for right now, conversion of stuff from 1 to 2. That is not there yet. The lighting is much better. The fact that it's not 32-bit and you can utilize much, much more RAM. It's more stable, better looking, and a lot of the mod tools are built right in. So SFM is a part of the mod tool set instead of being a separate thing. So you can do a lot of the modifications without leaving the engine, and it is free.
Isn't it only, well,
no,
you can buy Alex, right?
No, you can get it separately. I don't know if it comes with the Alex models then, but if you have Half-Life Alex, you can actually use it right now. I think you have to download one thing first. I can't remember. But
I bet you had to access it through Alex.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly with the one thing you have to do but now, like, if I hit Alex to play it, it says I had to launch the workshop tools, and then I wonder, can I run 2 of these at once? I called this Source Filmmaker. That wasn't like what you select from here. But once you actually go into the mod tools, it is literally just a button. So now or at least as of right now, it's probably going to change in the future. It might become a standalone download. I don't know. But if I just go into this, then I don't think I have anything saved on here. It looks different, and some of the controls are different too, which is a little annoying. Overall, the UI is basically the same, but I can go over here and I can jump to these other mod tools within the engine. That is pretty nifty. The problem I'm having right now is any models that currently exist in SFM, the current one, I ported them over, but I can import the model and do everything. But any of the flexes that come with it don't work. So if you want any of the lip syncing or anything that comes with some of these other models, they do not port without a heavy amount of scripting on the side. That's a lot of custom scripting. So you can get it to work, but it's not convenient, and I want convenient. Just wasn't worth it to me for that. Once that part is fixed, it'll be much better. Like lights alone, they have 5 different types of light: omnidirectional light, shadowed lights that are omnidirectional, lights that cover the entire map from a single source and are straight line. There's way more benefits to Source 2, and I really am looking forward to transitioning, especially being that everything's basically the same otherwise. But it's difficult when I can't lip sync. I can't give facial expressions. I would just have static models. That's not worth it to me. But eventually, and soon, does look pretty good. You gotta figure that particles are really hard to understand. Not even gonna try it yet. Yeah, if you haven't played with particles yet, I haven't even played with the particles on here. Let's see.
Oof.
Let me. Oh. So this is saying, yeah, but it says something about a non-per force. And because.
But this is even like an official release.
Yeah, it's messy, so whatever. Interesting tidbits, though, if you are using the original SFM and you want some optimization type things. Source Filmmaker, if you right click it, go to properties and then go to set launch options. These are, I always have set up, and these are for a reason. So if you put in your launch options a no P4, what that means is no perforce. And when you go to open the particle screen on here, so if I go to Windows particle editor, normally opening up this window or changing to this window takes a while. And that's because perforce is like a preloading thing, but it's not really needed for SFM. So if you turn off perforce by adding this into your launch options, it will make opening up of the launch, the screen for the editor of particles much quicker, like instantaneous instead of that like delay. And when you're trying to edit and make saved particles, not instance ones, but like saved ones, it's a huge time savings. Definitely recommend that. These two here are for changing the game engine. So as you saw when I went and opened up the particle editor, normally it would be opening it up in a 1280 by 720 screen because that's the default resolution for the game engine portion of SFM, not the rendering resolution, but the game engine. And I have it now defaulted to 1080. Right now I'm streaming in 1080, so I have my resolution changed to that, so it's going to fill the whole screen, which I normally wouldn't want, but I'm normally running in 2K. When I was doing 2K and it would come up as 720, it would only take up like basically about as big as this box on my screen, which was annoying. So I have a default to increase it. You can do it otherwise. So if you go into game mode, I think it was at F11. Yeah. If you go to F11 and this might shoot. Okay, good. And then you go to video, you can change it here and then apply, but then it won't save it between swaps. So this allows it to always open in 1080 in the game engine in the background. Super useful as well. And then this one is your resolution for rendering. Normally this defaults to 720, which the lower the resolution that SFM runs at for its preview windows, the more efficient it is, the faster your frame rates will be while working on things. But again, when I'm running in a 2K outside of stream, it's going to have a preview window that basically on my screen gets no bigger than this. Even if I expand it to bigger, it can't get any bigger. So I have it set to 1080 so that it fills that whole thing. It runs a little worse in most things, but unless I need that frame rate, I just don't bother. And even if I need to run it at 720, I'll keep that whole line in there so I don't have to retype it if I do need to. Because if you want to render in 4K, you need to upload that or update that to 2160. Good question. When I load props using the recording method, it creates the box outside the map when it puts all my cameras in. So the recording method, if you're talking about this button right here, I never really use it because that's like TF2 characters, and I've never worked with TF2 characters, so I wouldn't be able to say too much on that. By box, are you saying the camera box, like the Frostroms for the camera? Because if it's that, you can right-click display and turn off camera Frostroms, and that might help that. And by that, I mean these lines that the camera has. If you turn those off like this, it will just turn off the visibility of them. It's like an invisible barrier. Yeah, I'm not sure on that because the recording button does some specific things, and I am not sure how everything works with that. Because I know when you use that, it adds a whole bunch of stuff to your timeline. Hello, Sup. Sup. Do you know why my SFM viewports flash if I don't have the engine windows unhid? Are you talking like where it look fine when you're just staring at it, but if you go to turn the camera in any way that it flickers? Because I had that on my laptop, but yeah, I heard because I had it on my laptop happen, but it was after I had to reload it and I didn't fully update it. If you're running, I don't remember what version of Windows that was running. I would make sure that you have everything fully updated. If you're missing a service pack, make sure you get that installed. But I'm not because it was only happening to me after I reinstalled everything and didn't get the updates installed yet. And that was only because I reinstalled Windows, had a friend borrow it. He gave it to me right before a convention, and the amount of updates it would have taken to fully update it would have taken way too long. By the way, how do I save animation on model so I can load it from files? That is easy. So when you have a model selected, I don't think you can have anything locked. So if you have anything like locked like this, make sure that it's fully unlocked. Actually, you might be able to export it with a lock, but don't, because it's locking different values. Just right click, export, and then, so this one is a rig. So let's grab this one. That's the other thing, is make sure if you have a rig attached, you have to detach the rig first. But just go to export and then animation, and then save it wherever you want to as whatever. And that'll save it as a DMX file. DMX is the same name as a save file for your whole thing, but it's going to be just for animation of that one model. Then when you are wanting to load it, you just basically right click the model, import animation, and then find that file and import it. Do know that one of the values that is exported is the root transform. And so like right now, the root transform for this is right here. But if I'm in a different map, this spot might be like, let's say on the ground over here. So like I load into a file here and I import it, and then it's going to pop up there, way far away from wherever you are. So unless there is root transform animation, I would recommend importing it without root transform selected. And which is easy. So if you just deselect that and then import animation without it selected, it will import without root transform. So you can do partial imports too. I'll do that. Like I'll export something with lip syncing. So say like a character I did lip syncing for a year ago, and they said a bunch of words that are very similar to something I need now. I will just import the mouth portions. And so I don't have to worry about the model moving all around. I'll just import the face. Got to go questionable content in 5 minutes. I do have a tutorial, I think, on my YouTube that is about loading animation cycles, but I don't think it covers how to save them. But the save part's the easy part. I'm on the latest Windows version, so unless there's a thing for SFM I need to do. Well, and not just make sure, like, it's about, like, is there a service pack or any other optional things that make sure that everything's up to date. And which is, but I think that laptop was Windows 7, which... It was just weird because it was running perfectly fine and then only did that. Now, I was at the convention when it happened and I was trying to show something and it was causing that, which was annoying. But yeah, I only say that because I ran an issue after updates were removed. But I haven't poked at it enough to figure out what was causing that issue. But I know if you Google around for it, some people were recommending some things. I see people use a white void in animations. How do you get that? I don't know if one exists.
I think you just have to put like a background.
But you could make one. So like this right now it's a black void. So there's no lights, there's nothing, and you're basically, the map itself is sitting at essentially the max Z distance. So as soon as I get towards this corner here, it's going to start popping up black over there because that is the maximum the engine can render for distance. So it's basically the maximum distance that you can have for something. But it doesn't mean that I can't make a white void. So there is a model that I have, actually it's already the right search, from Das Mats, I think. There's just the green screen model. And I think skin number 4, well, number 3, I guess the 4th one, is a white one. So technically you can just make a box out of this, and then, or when it comes, the one reason I like using this map a lot is because when you have animations, all that matters is what's being rendered. Wherever your camera is pointing and whatever is showing on your screen at that point is the only thing that actually matters. So you don't need a box. You just need, you can animate it in this area. Like here, you can see them sitting in front of the dumpster. All I actually need to do for this render then is just take this, this white block and then just put it behind the shot. So, boop. So now they're in a white void. For the viewer, it's no different than being in a white void, even though to you, there's everything else visible outside of that. So you can make any white void you want with that. And you can even make your own one of these. Like, just find any flat texture and just override it to a white blank flat texture. That's why that's why actually the last search I did was for 1024, because I needed to fill a background of something, and I love using this as a filler, especially like the black. I think I had to do this because I was going to do like a cutout of something and I needed a black background, so I used this for a black background. Might be because I'm on a laptop with 2 GPUs, my NVIDIA and Intel. Maybe. I can't. Mine was a gaming laptop that I had an mobile NVIDIA chip, so it probably was a similar situation. The untech expert. Like, maybe you're real helpful when I ask people for tips to either get ignored. Nope, just ignored. No, that's why I'm here. And to me, it's anytime I've ran into issues, I've spent hundreds of hours trying to figure out solutions to these things, and eventually I do figure it out. And so any of the things you've probably run into, I've run into as well at some point. So I'm glad I can be of help. One of the big things that it took me forever to realize was an issue was if you ever have it where if you're doing a really, really hard zoom, that you'll get that glitch on textures like this. And actually, it wouldn't even be of a hard zoom, but if anytime 2 textures are really, really, really close to each other, the farther you are from it, the smaller percentage the difference is between the two compared to how far away you are. The textures start getting overlapped in the engine, which is what's happening here. But you can fix this, and it took me years to figure this out. So if you go to your camera and you just show in element viewer camera, you're going to have your Z near and Z far. So this is the cutoff, and the cutoff for the distance of the camera to start showing things, and the cutoff to have nothing any further beyond. So like if I change this to like 2000, it's going to start cutting off things at this, like, just not that far in front of the camera. But that's obviously not what I don't remember the value that was. We're just going to say 29,000 is good enough. But the way to actually fix that glitch with the texture is by increasing your Z near. Stop playing with the chicken. I can see that. No, he's looking at me weird. Okay. Normally the easiest way to fix it is just change your 3 to 30. And now when I swap to my so my work camera is still going to be bad because the work camera is always going to be a copy of your main camera. But now I swap, control click my camera to now copy the new current camera to my work camera. Now, if I back up and zoom in, you notice that the issue is basically gone. And so that is, I think, the way I've seen it, or the way I felt how it worked, was that you're changing that ratio. You're shrinking down the beginning part. Shadows work the same way with lights. If you decrease the min cutoff for lights, you usually much improve your shadows. And you can keep increasing this. In your lunch options. Did you just do that now in Brooks? I hope so. I don't know, no contest. Stop it, because I could see him over there, and he looked like he was trying to slowly do it while I wasn't paying attention, and I was ignoring it until it started getting weird.
It's like the phrase of the week for me. It's like I ignored him until it started getting weird.
But the one difficulty with this is if you start increasing your Z near, you are going to increase the cutoff at the front of the camera. So now I can't get as close to him without it heading cut off. But you can see I can still get pretty damn well. I guess I'm right here, so this is where it's cutting off now. So if you put this value even higher, which technically would increase the would clear up the edges a little bit more, you're going to start actually having cutoffs at a pretty noticeable distance. but can be beneficial, because let's say like you're sitting with a camera of 3 and you're like, but I want to record them sitting in this dumpster. And you're like, okay, well, somebody's sitting in this dumpster, but you're having to do this like really far back camera to try to get a good shot. No. Take your Z-Near, increase it. And now you can actually get pretty close with a normal camera, and it was just going to cut off that border in front of it. That is actually pretty useful. I really wish you could animate this. I wonder, can you? No, you can't. Damn. I was hoping that it would be like one of the other things you could add it to the model for stuff, but I've actually used this before. I had it where there was a map where something was in the way in front, and I wanted to have them closer to the wall for the better backdrop, but I didn't want the wall that was in front of me in the way. So I actually increased the Z-Near to forward enough to cut off of the wall so that I didn't see it. Really comes in handy. I haven't had to cut touch Z-Near, but yeah, if you run into that issue, I always just try to change that to 30 by default, because I never need anything as close as 3. Not 33. I need to make this consistent. What are you doing? The fact you turn your phone away from me is very sus.
No. Maybe you're just paranoid.
Where's Derpy?
Well, now that you're expecting it, I'm not going to do it.
I can see it in your glasses.
No. I'm betrayed. Later, mate. I didn't even need a message.
You didn't even put a message.
No.
You couldn't, because it was...
My message is Derpy. She's adorable.
I'm going to change it sometimes so that it's going to be like Derpy really sad and crying and be like, look what you did, Michael.
You'd be a monster. He is a monster.
Thanks. Actually, I had rigged models, so that was a problem. Oh, okay, yeah. If it's rigged, it definitely won't export. And if anything is actually locked, so how locks normally work is if I have a model that so that one actually was locked to stuff, but it's normally like, say, his head bone right here. Its XYZ is not saved as an XYZ to the world. It's saved as what is its XYZ compared to its parent bone. So it's saying that it is one to the left and 2 to the right compared to the neck only. So if all its values are 0, it's just in its default position, even if it's moving around. As soon as you hit lock, all of its numbers change to its world position. So they'll all get converted to the full numbers of where it is XYZ in the entire map. So if you try to export with something locked, it will normally, it'll normally have issues. Like even if I go in here and I say copy while something is locked, it's going to say some of the copy animation have locked controls and rigs in them, which could cause problems when pasting, because you're pasting the world coordinates. That means when you paste it on something that's not locked, suddenly it's taking something with a 250 value of this and 8,000 of that onto something that's expecting 000, and it's going to just throw bones in the random direction. So this thing I think I did for movement, and it prevents it from moving past a certain point. I think it to prevent clipping. No, so any rig should prevent that. I have no idea what you're saying, Sup. It looks like you're trying to hack me. So we're gonna take Rathalos from here. Oh, see? Oh, no, this is actually one. I copied while he was locked. And this is what happened. He's fine. There. So this one I got to change a little bit because I had readjusted the positions of the other characters. So move them down there. And it's fine, even if it's not an exact match. Nobody knows. You can watch so many movies where there's complete breaks between scenes that are supposed to be congruent. It said, how do I make bona fide CADA models for SFM in Chinese? Neat. Learn how to model. That's what the most I'll be able to say. So I want to have him back to looking forward. From here. Kind of. Oh, should I have him looking down at it? His head tilted a little bit. Maybe the other way. I'll do that. Why are you talking about Winnie the Pooh?
That's what I'm thinking about.
Oh, I can't ban you from here.
This is a very important message.
Oh, wait, I can't. No, I can't ban you from here.
It would be rude.
Wait, I can. I can report you. Well, I can report or block.
Look, my questions was very important and needed pure...
It says you were previously subbed for 3 months.
When did I do that?
You can pay for your freedom.
I don't have no money.
You have money. I'm poor.
I pay in derbies.
10 cents a derby.
Is that what that translates to? It's like a dime.
Basically a penny per bit. Unless you mean by default, then you can get larger packs that go cheaper.
Yeah.
You have a sub now, Blurred. It's cool.
He liked my comments about Winnie the Pooh.
I didn't even read it. So Michael's comment was, "Hi, my name is Michael, and I hate Derpy. Derpy is the worst pony of all time. She is very gray, and gray is a boring color."
Wow.
It also, there's a picture right here of her being very sad, and you said that's your favorite picture of her.
Wow.
That's what it says.
No.
Streaming is the best part of my weeks.
It's just like, well, at least one person here is going to go get his degree in pooing.
Is that what that says?
Well, you got to be a pooer.
Top class pooer.
Yeah,
Why is a top class pooer capitalized?
Oh, pooer is a job title.
It's a job title.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you get promoted to?
Well, you become, I mean, it's like the baker, right? Or the officer. That's what they say in there. But it's like Winnie the Pooh. That's his job. He is the Pooh. And now I'm quite wondering, like, do you have to go to college to become a Pooh? Like, what is required?
What is a Pooh?
The Pooh. I don't know, but I think you need to go to school to do it. Also,
Do you
have to be a baker.
Because my job, I'm not.
Are you a pooer?
I'm not the quality analyst. I am. But that's not what they call me. It's not. It's like Andrew the quality analyst. Andrew the quality.
Yes.
Well, QA, I guess. No, but
it's like the baker or the butcher. It's the pooer.
The murderer.
That's his job. So he had to go to a trade school. Just get your trade school.
Gotta go to college degree and poo. Yeah, well, actually, you can like a sewage technician.
They gotta go to college for that?
Well, I'm guessing so.
I hope not.
I mean,
like I went to school.
That's got to be a pretty dangerous job, though.
Yeah.
Like oxygen deprivation, you're working with very unsanitary stuff. I mean, it's not. I don't think anybody can just be a pooer.
I mean, you gotta.
A poo technician.
You gotta be a poo. You gotta be approved. Get? Instead of approved, it's approved.
You're spending too much time around draft.
Yeah.
Shrink down these times a little bit. Thanks for the follow, Professor.
Very quality streaming happening here.
Did you just look up like weird facts?
No, this is legit something I've been wondering about for like the last week.
Why? Why did your brain suddenly just start thinking about Winnie the Pooh?
I don't know. Like the whole concept of Winnie the Pooh. Like that would imply it's his job.
You know, I think that you could pull off a convincing Pooh. I mean, as long as you wore pants.
Well,
because that's weird.
I mean, I wouldn't be that convincing if I did.
Has anybody seen the movie Christopher Robin?
That was good.
It was better than I thought it was going to be.
It was a good movie.
It was legitimately good, and Eeyore is the best.
Mm-hmm. Because he's just like super.
But in all the other ones, he's super depressed, and in there, he's still depressed, but he gives his good reasoning for why he's doing it. And
well, when he drops one of my favorite things, he gets dropped on the floor, and he's like, "I'm on the floor where I belong."
No, Tigger is great, but in Christopher Robin, the live action movie they did, Eeyore was the star of the show. For sure. He was just great because he was just like, he was depressed, but like how a lot of the stuff he was doing was for almost the sole purpose of just making everybody else leave him alone. And it was so relatable.
But it was super heartwarming. Like the one thing that could make him smile was like realizing that was Christopher Robin. Like he was happy.
It was because originally I remember hearing people say like, "Don't bring your kids to the movie. It's not a kids movie." And then I'm like, "Well, then what the hell is it?"
I would say,
but it's more of, it's not a cartoon. So when you go in there thinking it's going to be a cartoon kids movie, it's not made for kids. It's an adult movie, not in terms of it has like Winnie the Murderer or anything. Like suddenly it's a slasher fic of Winnie the Pooh, but
it's a movie you can take your kids to. It's just. Its target audience is adults who grew up with Winnie the Pooh. It's not for kids they're trying to introduce Winnie the Pooh to. It's for adults who've had him their whole lives, and now they're like in their 30s, 40s, and they need to be reminded of their childhoods and how not to abandon
that movie is very much like the definition of like a brony. Of like them going, wait, I can do kid things. I'm like, no, not to the level you're doing it. You're back it up.
Well, I mean, in that movie,
it was deep. It was basically showing that the line between kid and adult is only a created one, and that there are responsibilities that you have, but it doesn't mean that you have to give up everything that you enjoyed when you were younger.
I think that's actually a really important lesson.
Oh yeah.
Like I think it was pushed, especially our parents' generation, and everything back. Like, once you got to a certain age, you gave up childish things. You moved on. You didn't play with toys. You didn't. You focused on your work, and your work was your life. And I don't think that's healthy, personally.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm playing with freaking cartoon dragons online, and I'm 36, but but I think just the video game everything is giving people a connection from when they were younger to when they were older. But also I think just the way that things change nowadays. It used to be that like the way that life was when you were younger, things were different when you were older, but not by that much. But now it's become like the turnover rate for like everything has become so much shorter now that 5 or 10 years is now the equivalent of 20 or 30 years before on changes. So we need the stew. Sounds pretty delicious. Pooh versus Jason. I like that.
That would be an interesting movie.
Or
how do you kill your imagination?
So Freddy versus Pooh.
Yes.
Like
the Pooh.
I just want to see him like he just starts like gets his head stuck in a honey pot and then just starts ramming people with it and just murdering.
The bees.
The bees.
Not the bees.
I'm hungry. And just like just eating people.
Oh no, just cracks open their heads like a jar of honey. Just eats the brains.
Is there a Pooh model?
No. Probably. Like, I would think there'd almost have to be. Just like, no. You stop that is a terrifying Winnie the Pooh cereal. Oh my, no.
No, it's because of this thing. It's for the meme.
It's for the meme.
Look at the butt.
This is the one Winnie the Pooh model.
Or is it just Pooh? No, that's
a bad thing.
That's it. That is the only one.
You have in the workshop is that.
Well, my idea is ruined because that alone would just.
Or is it better?
Kind of maybe. Did like a 5-second very poorly animated scene. When you're starting out, everything's going to improve over time as long as you focus on improving. I definitely recommend that if you're looking to get better, is find something that you can animate and try to replicate it. It helps so much because a lot of early on, figuring out like, well, I want to do this pose, but you don't have an idea as to what looks right. And if you can take something that already exists and then you just like take a screenshot of it and you try to recreate that shot and then like advance it a couple of frames and what does this look like, and you can start seeing how to like to build the keyframes based on the like what that show has, and then you then have an example of what it should look like when it's finished and how to animate it. A lot of the first things I did were replicates of other things. Like I replicated a picture and then I animated the picture with just some ambience. So just like wind stuff, whatever. I took like 40 seconds of a show and animated it fully. And I learned a lot in doing it. Yeah, you're copying things, but it's also a great tool for learning. As long as you're not like taking credit for it, the original idea, then you're fine. Yeah, it took me about a year before I really felt super comfortable to really be poking at my own stuff without the intent of it being to learn. Because definitely a lot of stuff where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to make this, but a lot of it is I want to figure out lighting, or I want to figure out scene building, I want to figure out how to do this and how to do that. And after about a year is where I started being able to gather all that together. But also I have a lot of time in the software, so I make it look easy, or make it look easy, but it's not.
I mean, It's been trying to climb into this trash bin all day. Got him.
Well, yeah, but I'm distracted by stream.
Pooh bears.
Which is perfectly fine. And yeah, and poo.
Poo is very distracting. You want to make sure you clean that up before you move on.
Okay, I do think I want to delay this a little bit. I think when he first turns his head. So I'm going to do that. I'll do that. How do you lip sync? I think that's the one thing I really don't know how to do. Lip sync is difficult. I actually have a full tutorial on my YouTube as to the kind of the method that I use for it. So if you guys came here from, do know I do a lot of pony stuff. But if you but I have a full thing of tutorials, and one of them from when I got laid off like 6 years ago is on lip syncing. And so I kind of cover some of the aspects of things that I use for lip syncing. But yeah, just search my name on YouTube and you can find the tutorials there. And it's just a bunch of stuff that I thought would be helpful for people. There's a whole bunch, and I am making more. I just made these 2 recently. And I have a whole beginner's guide, actually, if that's helpful. It's a live stream I did a while ago. It's because when you slow it down to make it more precise, you can't tell what's happening because the audio is so distorted. So the best way to do it is, so even if you can't hear the audio, you can kind of hear it in your brain. And so the way I normally do lip syncing, I did a little bit here, but I can do the beginning of the next one here. So what I'll normally do is most sounds, so most words are going to be 2 syllable, 2 to 3 syllable. But even the 3 syllable ones are normally going to be where you have a sound for the mouth at the beginning, a sound at the end, and then an opening in the middle. So like let's is let's, so it's l and then s, and then an open in the middle. So l-ats. And if you think about words like that, then it's like basically everything is 3 stages. When you start getting into multiple syllable words, like I had to do civilization at once, that one was hard because my process kind of broke down for that, and I kind of had to figure it out. But for most things, it would work. And so what I'll normally do is I'll figure out that sound at the beginning, I'll do the sound at the end, and then I'll just adjust the middle opening to try to make it work for what I'm doing. So in this case, and again, this every model's lips are different for their controls. This Rathalos model I put together the flexes for, so they're kind of built the way that I need things. He's like how dare you? But
he's very pointy.
I'll get rid of the pink Rathalos here, Arathian. So I'll do the L. So I'm going to find where the middle of that sound is. So I have the L, and then it goes. Now I can hear the eh. So I'm going to go about here. And I'm just going to grab some random time. I normally would do, and this is motion editor too. I'll kind of do the even in out at the beginning, and then I'll do a quick on the out. I don't know why I do it. That just tends to be what I do. So the sound starts right about here, but I'm going to start a little bit before. But you can adjust all this as you go. So that's why I'm not too worried about it. So let's just make a L. So it's about playing with the flexes to get that look. The more you start using a model, the more you can start seeing how the merges of them work. So this model essentially is broken down into just a couple different pieces for its lip syncing, which is going to be the lip front and lip back are just going to be about bringing down the lip in the front, the lip in the back. Lip bite and lip out are just going to be about, am I going to be pulling the lips in or the lips out? Then teeth in and teeth out. Normal models won't have that. Rathalos was just a weird one. That's basically grin on most. And then pucker is just moving the mouth forward and then moving the mouth backwards. There's a couple other little bones, but those are the main ones I need that to me for kneading are open and close, pucker and not. So the ability to move the lips forward or not, and the ability to show teeth or not. If you can give those, you can do basically any wording. And if you watch most cartoons, that's the way the lip syncing works in there. The mouth either opens or closes, pushes forward or backwards, or shows teeth or not. Should get share. I got a rough sketch for you. Okay, I'll check that quick, but then I want to finish that.
Know what is happening.
What is going on? There's very butt things going on there. That is lewd. There's lewd.
Oh, well, there it is.
So here I'm going to do the le. So just do it with your mouth and then try to replicate. So that's going to be definitely forward pucker and then lips out. And there's probably going to be a little bit of teeth. So this might require me to like move the jaw down a little bit and move the jaw a little bit forward. So that's pretty good for here. So and then I'm going to go to the end. So this is probably going to move a little bit more. So okay, so this is going to be teeth back, teeth out again. And then it's going to be really pulling my lips up. So this is where I have these two bones. I'm just going to pull those up. This is going to be probably in the back. And you want to make sure if you change this meter, you can see here that if I keep changing like this, it's going to go up, but eventually if I go past this, you're going to see this actually flatten off. You don't want to do that. And that's because if there's already a value there, it will let you put it up 100% from where it was, which is well past that number. So to make sure that you just kind of increase it to the max there. So let's pull the lips in a little bit too. Okay. And now that I have the base of the front and the back, I'm just going to play with the middle. So now I'm going to go grab somewhere in the middle there. And I'm going to grab jaw open. And then just kind of play with it to make it work. There. So the nice thing with the motion editor is that I can, but popping on with magic, but since Mike isn't, yeah, it gets a little weird. It looked a little bit.
It looked like
NSFW.
They were grabbing butts.
So that's basically how I'll do that. Then it's going to mention, so because of how the fluid modification layer does or works, I basically just hit an open and then it lets me basically just move this and retime this however I feel it needs to be done. That's why I like doing the open last, because certain words might have a more even opening close and some might be quicker and you can play with the values a lot more. But then even this, I'm not 100% happy with it. This is basically first pass. So like here, I'd probably extend that a little bit more. I'd probably delay or put the mouth a little bit more forward and turned up at the beginning. The part here, I'm just going to pull the jaw open like that. I'm probably also going to pull the jaw back a bit more. The teeth should be popping in a little bit earlier. Probably about here. And here in the middle, they probably should be in. So it's more of an eh. So, and then here also, I probably want to do more in the pullback. So there's a lot of little cleanup, but this is more of like that second optional bit if you just really get some detail. But in general, that's just the way I do it. Start with your first syllable, then do your second syllable, then do the open in the middle and adjust where needed. And you're never going to get it right first try. I'll usually just kind of do what I would consider like 80% right the first pass, and then I'll like come back the next day. And sometimes a fresh look at things, you'll just be like, oh wow, that looks really bad right there. And if you keep looking at the same thing over and over and over again, you're going to start getting like fatigue on it to where it's just going to look right because that's just what you've been seeing. But if you take a break from it, sometimes you'll start noticing things. I don't think I've ever heard people say animation is easy. I think most people think it's easier than it is, or that it's quicker to learn or something. But I don't think I've ever really heard people say it's easy.
It's easy.
You don't count.
You're not people.
Most people, I think, are pretty well understood that animation is difficult. But animation isn't the only part of making a video. There's like here. So there's lighting. There's the cinematography. So planning all of your shots. Being able to tell a story with the camera. Sound design. There's animation is a very small portion of it. And it's actually, to me, one of the parts I hate. I don't like the animating part, really. I love the cinematography, the story building, the lighting, the scene building. That's the parts I really, really like. The animating is just the means to an end. But so if you want to be an animator, if you want to be an animator, you can do that as a career. But if you want to be a YouTube animator, you need a lot more skills. You need to be able to figure out everything else too. It's not just about point a camera at somebody and shoot. There's a whole bunch more to it. It's kind of where I fall. I really don't plan my animation. I just get too excited and wing it. Planning is important. Very important. That's actually what we're doing right now. Actually, is we're planning. So all these different camera shots. What are you doing?
Playing with my sock.
I think you're like giving yourself like a snake bite.
No.
Remember those?
Snake burn, isn't it?
No, we used to call them snake bites.
We call them snake burns.
You're just weird. Gray duck, man.
Goose.
No, it's gray duck.
Goose.
The planning is very, very, very important. So like here, the main reason that planning is important is if you start animating something and then you end up changing the way that it's angled or the way that it looks or something, you're going to be redoing work on a lot of things. So for instance, and that's just wasted time. Animation is a long process, so save yourself time when you can. For instance, the Fallout video I made a long time ago. This is an old storyboard I did for it. So the audio is from. Oh, let me fix that.
Didn't you do some storyboard with those derpy videos?
Not in the same way. So the audio already existed. This is when I animated a radio play. But this is how I planned it.
I think I could animate that well someday.
This well.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a whole couple minutes. No, actually, this one, it took me probably hours to do these scene builds. Not the scene builds, the planning. Because you're like, does this work? Does this work? No, this doesn't work. I'm going to do this, and I do this, and I keep changing it. It's so much back and forth.
I mean, she's already pretty cute. Just sliding around the world.
So you have that, and then the final product was... Why is it delayed? There it goes. So because I planned it ahead of time, these two camera angles are different, but all the rest were basically the same to where I didn't have to redo animation. Like here, her hoof is like completely stretched way the hell out because it didn't really matter. All I needed was for this one little bit. I knew I didn't have to animate her looking at something. So planning ahead of time saves you work. And it's also, to me, one of my favorite parts. I love being able to figure out camera angles and shots and stuff and developing a scene like that. So the start of a video is, to me, one of my favorite parts. Ending it, the closer it gets to the end, the more I hate it. Also, you know how to delete parts of a model? Depends on what you mean by delete. If you're talking about like actual modification of the model, you're going to have to do some Blender work. but it depends on what it is. So if the model has split textures, so like if it's, say that he had a coat on or something, the coat probably has its own texture. You can hide the texture on it and it will then be invisible, but shadowed lights will still treat it like it is there. So you'll still have a shadow of it, but if you're not using shadow lights, you can get away with it. I've done it for sometimes hiding like certain types of hair or something where I'll just hide the texture. But again, it's just kind of a messy solution. Also, what works is if it's a end of a bone, like if you're trying to get rid of an arm, you could just scale the arm all the way down. So just like on, I don't think I can do it on him because this works. But if you just add scale control and then 0 it, but it's not going to work here because of the rig. You can scale before the rig is attached, but not after. Other than that, sometimes it's just where you have to do some blender work, but that is a whole separate, super complex topic, which I will not get into. So if the model is not doing what you need it to do in that regard, find a different model or learn Blender. There's not much you can do on that. You're using it as a microphone. There's a lot of different microphone models out there. But if you try to remove a very small part of it, there's probably no way. You could turn it, if it's like a part of a model, you could turn it to the backside so you don't see it. Again, if it's not on camera, it doesn't matter. I don't like that cut.
That's how quickly he turns his head.
I think I still like it cutting right here. If that's the case, then it might be. I mean, if that bottle is on its own bone, so like say that it has a jiggle bone for being able to move independently, or it's just a part that you can move in any way, just throw it off the map. Like just move it as far in one direction as you can so it's not visible, whatever. Or right click it, whatever bone it is inside here, and then add that scale, and then just turn the scale to 0. Then it's gone. But it could also be that has its own texture, and then you could hide that texture if you have no other option. But again, if you have any shadow lights, it's going to interact with, or that shadow, it's going to cast a shadow even though the object is not visible. And that is usually no bueno.
A way to get rid of it completely is to put it in a modeling program, and that can get complicated.
And I brought that up. Weren't you paying attention?
Yes. Kind of. I may have saw a pony on my phone.
No more chicken. Chicken is just causing you problems.
Why is chicken? This is butt.
But I thought you hate chicken, and now you're like, no, bring me chicken.
I'm just like, why is his butt falling out?
His butt? His butt is
I
fine.
thought that was cotton.
No, it's a tail.
I was worried for chicken. I thought he was. Like,
why are you worried for chicken?
Pooping out.
You hate chicken.
I do hate chicken. I know what that chicken's done. I know where that chicken's been. No. I'm just saying. Oh, it's kind of cute.
Is it good?
It's actually kind of cute.
I just put all his legs inside. Yeah, it is. And then he's like, boy. Oh, that didn't work out. So it's just...
Squish his head. He deserves it. Just put him out in a rainstorm. Just let him drown. That's totally not gonna stay up there.
Let's see if he will. Come on, chicken. You can balance.
Use all of your skills, chicken. If we so much as like...
He's on my monitor. He's just floating there.
Move up.
He's just staring at me now. Any real bump and that's gonna go over though.
Your Truly's is gonna.
There's nothing really in there. Oh yeah, I was gonna.
Making me nervous.
Oh, I can't do it with a rig. I might need to extend this shot. I don't know why this one always keeps the rig arms afterwards. Oh. Damn it. What am I doing? It's not even that I need. I need a sequence. No, come back here, Rathalos. Where are you going? So I want him to stop at about here at the correct distance, which I'm going to say is right here. Okay, apparently that doesn't work. There we go. So about here, I want to have him finish walking, but I want to have his legs at about the even spot. So let's just do that as the ending point. Because I'm going to cheat him to a stop position. So it is going to cause his eyes to break a little bit, which is an easy fix. Kinda. It's like a weird thing with the rig. Or not the rig, the sequences. That's fine. Okay, so I want to have the Rathalos from here at the very beginning. I'm just going to grab a little piece of it. Non-face, non-jaw. Oh, this is with rig. I got to put the rig on first. What do different tangents do? Sorry for asking a lot of questions. Nope, that's perfectly fine. What do you mean by the different tangents? Do you use the graph editor for like these tangents you're talking? Because if that's the case, then I don't really use the graph editor, but a lot of the tangents here are just about changing how everything, how the connection between 2 points works, as far as I remember. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on some of these because I never used that editor. I almost always use just the motion editor. Not that it's better or anything. It's just what I'm used to. I know how to use these tools, which do similar things, but I don't know the wording between or what's connecting between the two.
Get him walking now.
Yeah, I'll fix his eyes in a sec here. So the reason I did the leg thing there was as long as the eye or the legs are pretty similar in their positioning, So that's the leg that's down. So I just want to get this to about match. It means I can just kind of blend them and he'll kind of come to a stop. It's a really cheap stop, but it's a lot quicker to animate. So this leg is off to the side, but oh, that is way far back though. Well, then that is fine. I can then just adjust how he walks. Okay, I'll say that, and then I'll just round it and see how this turns out. It might be a little bit too quick on some of the motions. Okay, I'm going to call that good, but I'm going to see where he is right here. I'm going to move this whole thing forward to get him to about where I wanted him. I might put it here. Okay, and then for the Rathalos bit up from here through here, I'm just going to animate him a little bit, or not animate, just readjust his positioning just a bit to be like kind of a taller walk. He still needs to be up a bit. I'm a little worried that I'm going to be moving him too far. How did that get pushed back there? Oh, because I changed it. It's so satisfying to watch. I have no idea why. But there was one of the we brought it up once before on stream, but there was a moment we had on old Spider Fest years ago with fake 2 snacks, and and that's a whole story. But there's a guy that was impersonating being 2 snacks as a guest and kind of a sociopath. Creepy that we hung out with the guy for as long as we did, but he did a whole panel that was talking about the animation process of 2 snacks and brought a whole computer, and actually he had learned to animate like 2 snacks and had some of the rigs that were the same, very basic. And it was really weird that somebody's personal rig only had the stuff on there. Whatever, we kind of ignored some things for stupid reasons, but he had brought up while we were watching him do these really what you consider boring things, and he says, you guys have to find this really boring. And I found it fascinating because it was like this whole different animating process of like how the rigs work. I found it very, very interesting. And I immediately saw it from the other direction of all the stuff that I think is super, super boring. And I'm like, do people see it the same way too? And so I started not long after that doing an animating one-on-one panel, and I was with the intent of animating live more, and it didn't go as well as I wanted it to, but I think it was just because I didn't do it way correctly. But that's where it's like, even the streaming stuff, it's like just working on stuff. I think for some people, maybe not for everybody, but it some people just find it fascinating. I mean, if Michael can sit through it all the time, but a lot of it is because there's Pony.
Well, there's Pony, and I do enjoy your work, and I want to support it.
Well, that's fine. There's Patreon for that.
I'm already subscribed on that.
Okay, well, there you go. Then you don't need to do anything more.
Wow.
No, the support is...
You already got a replacement for me, so...
Yes, chicken. No, the support is helpful, especially for the stuff I'm wanting to do now. Well, that actually looks pretty good. No, gotta have that quicker.
There was a time you, like 25 viewers is pretty great. I remember for a while I was watching you and there'd be like 1 or 2 people in the stream. And I'd be one of them. Or the only one.
Thing is, the main reason for that is because I've been advertising it more on YouTube. If you go into my analytics for Twitch, it'll say the sources that viewers are coming from, and on average per month, 68 to 70% of my viewership come from a link from YouTube. So
I remember days where I'd be the only one watching for the vast majority of the stream, and I just wanted to reach the computer and be like, "It's okay, it's okay."
No, that was fine. No, the more people there are, the more distractions there are. But at the same time,
that is horrifying. He's like, he just said something that he did not approve.
It's like, I saw what you did last summer.
This is the you die now phase.
But it's the distractions are nice for YouTube, or not for streaming, because it helps me from burnout, which is very useful and very helpful. That's why I was actually slowing down on streaming for a bit, but now that I've been kind of a bit more reinvigorated for stuff, so I've been streaming my full times again. Yes. But when there's less people, I got more work done. But at the same time, then it was just I like the one-on-one conversation. I like being able to talk with people. That's why I hope it doesn't get too big, just because I don't want to have it where I can't interact with people, which is some of the most fun. And then if a question comes up, I'm not missing it. Seeing as I know nothing about animating, watching all this is highly entertaining. Yeah, I guess, from that perspective, I think it's where it's the greatest. Because if you already know everything, then it probably isn't as interesting.
If it got too busy, you'd have to get rid of Stupid Face, because an entire stream of you just trying to keep up with Stupid Face.
No, I just make it more expensive.
Yeah. Oh no. Now, I think the first video I started watching you animate was Remembrance. You were giving Twilight book armor, if I remember correctly.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I remember the book armor.
I remember it too.
He's frog. He's like.
Now, Remembrance was pretty cool because I remember you premiered it at BronyCon. That was probably the first time we interacted. Oh, that is special. I turned to look and I was like, oh, Jesus.
It's like the MLP characters.
No, their eyes aren't that bad.
No, but where they have the eye on the opposite side of the head showing on a full profile shot. They do that all the time. It actually kind of works here, though.
His eyes bugging out of his head.
See, it's fine. He's a full law-abiding individual. He wants some drugs.
I mean, that is kind of how the pony's eyes work. They're just giant bulbous eyeballs. They just don't work on him as well. He's got the pony eyes. Oh, if you could change those textures to pony eye textures, I would be so happy.
I can't. Oh. They don't work the same. The other ones use an actual eye property. These are just a textured circle. But it's like... Hi, Michael.
No.
Do you want to go to Disneyland?
Actually, I do.
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Disney World.
No, what? No. I don't want to go to Florida. We have to go to Florida. The most fun I ever had at a park in Florida was probably SeaWorld. That's happening now. No.
Banana. Okay, I'm gonna fix him.
I'm gonna fix your Angelo. It's gonna be okay.
We're getting there.
Yeah, he looks upset. Like, never again.
I don't think I fixed head 2. No, I didn't yet. Now it should be fixed. There, now his eyes are fine. Drugs. That's all it takes, Edward. Just drugs. Him with big eyes are just funny. I like the face gave my cat when she spilled my tea all over that trying to use a Kieran. Well, it's fine because I can just pretend it was coffee, and that's good. I remember my first animation I saw from you was Remembrance. I think that's most people's first. That was the first one. Well, I mean, Luna's Banishment is probably in terms of the general popularity, Luna's Banishment is more well known than. Well, no, Remembrance is probably more well known, but Luna's Banishment has more views. Twilight Ash also has more views. I think Remembrance is third. But yeah, I think most people just know that one because it spun off to other things, especially just Ashley H's radio drama.
That'd be you just give in to chat's demands for crossover and my demands for more kissing ponies. And you just have Derpy kissing Rathalos and make everyone sad.
I made Rathalos a pony.
You did. That was a special day.
It was very disturbing.
Yes, it was.
We took a pony and hid we hid the tail and anything above the neck, and we just replaced it with Rathalos' head and tail and wings. It was really disturbing.
Yeah, poor pony that got brutalized to make it happen. It was Velvet Remedy. I remember.
Yeah, it was Velvet Remedy.
Yeah. My brain decides to keep very select things. Like, what state are you in? I don't know. What pony was used in this video 4 years ago? Ooh. I know that one.
But then be like, okay, Michael, how old is your car? And you're like, car? What's a car?
What's a car?
But I know the exact RGB value for Carrot Top. The pony.
Yes. Not the actor.
Oh, Rathalos is a pony. You need to see it. That was years ago. No, it wouldn't have been years ago because it was still doing the Rathalos stuff. Probably a year and a half ago or something. Because I've been doing the Rathalos thing for I think 2 years now, or a year, almost 2 years.
It all started because you just wanted to see if you could add flexes to a model.
See, I don't remember that part, and you're just because it was pony.
Well, it wasn't even pony. It was just you. You just wanted to figure out if you could add flexes to something, and Rathalos was just the model you picked to play around with.
I feel like you're going to be like, here's a piece of paper, draw me that scene, and you're just going to take the pen as a dot matrix printer, just go from top to bottom like this, and just pecking, and it's just going to be and it's going to be an exact replication.
Figure out are you the iRobot?
It's going to be, is that the camera Frostrom in that shot? Yeah, I remember it. It was 3 pixels down, 1 pixel left. 3 pixels down, 1 pixel left.
Oof. Yeah. I just remember you made one video with the Rathalos model to test out your flexes, and it blew up. And here we are. I was like, and here we are.
I wasn't paying attention.
my sigh. You were very excited.
As you did a crossover, I would see you making a video of him and her making those weird faces at each other. No, I'm not a big fan of crossovers. They have to be done right, and especially when you're crossing over fandoms, it's even more dangerous because I don't want to. If I have a fan base on the Rathalos thing and I have a fan base for the pony things, if I start crossing over, I'm going to have the Rathalos people weirded out, and I'm going to have the pony people just probably being weird. And so or them thinking that I am now going to be merging the two more often and abandoning certain people's audience. Oh, I guess I beat it too much. So it was, I feel like it's better just to keep them completely separate, and I don't plan to do any crossover stuff at all. During the request stream, some of the stuff kind of came over that was different.
Don't you know the goal of all bronies is to ponify everything?
But I don't, I think that's just the personality trait that was brought up while the pony thing was existing, because, I'm seeing a bunch of the like pony stuff, or the people that do normal pony stuff that now are doing Among Us stuff, and I'm seeing like the same thing happen on that. So it's like, I think that bronies just want everything to be a part of everything else, so they'll take the one thing and then they'll just merge it in everything else. But even other fandoms, you'll see crossover stuff all the time.
Crossover stuff.
But most of the times, what I see crossovers as is where you take like some chewed bubblegum and another chewed bubblegum, and they stick them together and say it's a crossover. No. You have two individual things that are that you literally sewed together like a freaking pony centipede, and now it's screaming for death, and you're just keeping it alive. Fallout was not that way.
It worked so well.
Fallout was where it was more like a milkshake, where it was actually had the flavors actually where they had both inspirations from both sides and blended it together very, very well, which was it's a rarity. But when you have these other ones where it's just, they're not crossover involve like overlappingness, but all they do is they put them next to each other so that they're calling across the canyon from making individual references, but not blending the universes in any meaningful way.
You just gotta turn all the characters into ponies, and it just makes things better.
Don't make Rathalos a pony. Didn't you just hear what I was saying?
No! Do not listen to this man. He is crazy.
Sunset is saying that you should collaborate with them to make a official Church of Derpy, the Holy Order of the Derp.
As long as the eventual goal of the church is to bring Derpy into this world, so I'm gonna need some plans. Like, we need to build like a giant portal into another dimension. You get that started.
But you need to create that dimension first.
It already exists.
Well, then how do you find it?
That's the goal.
Through friendship.
Yes, through friendship and the power of ancient rituals.
Actually, there already is a way to get there. Drugs.
Yes.
Lots of drugs.
Okay, our church is going to be built around LSD. I'm just
mushrooms. Mushrooms are hallucinogenic.
Well, yeah.
So you fill somebody in a room full of very creepy things, and then you give them some mushrooms, and then they have a trip.
I mean, we could fill a room with nothing but pony plushies and see how much drugs we got to do before they start talking to us.
Yeah, but what if the person like starts freaking out, and then the ponies are like attacking him? That's the one problem with a lot of this stuff. I used to have friends that had done mushrooms, and they were always saying you have to be in a happy environment, and you have to be in a good mood, because if you're not, all that happens is like one of them was saying that he was running through the streets thinking that like Freddy was after him and trying to murder him, and he kept like trying to hide around corners and everything because he legitimately thought that he was after him. And he goes, and it wasn't like a funny ha-ha version. He goes, I was legitimately thinking I was going to die.
So what you're saying is I could legitimately do shrooms, and Ponies might come to life.
But they might also try to kill you, is the thing.
But the important thing is the thing to life.
As long as I die happy.
Yes. This is death by pony plushies. Doesn't sound so bad.
LSD and muffins. Sounds like a cult. Yes, that's a cult. That's definitely a cult.
Okay, we're gonna start this church. We're gonna be doing a lot of drugs in this church. It's not your grandma's church. This is the Church of Derby. No kids. We don't want to get in trouble.
Are you going to say that there's like a suicide pact that's going to happen with this? No. Okay, everybody, drink the rainbow punch.
I mean, unless the plushies actually kill us, but who knows?
Okay, I have to see if... Do I still have that picture? I'm just thinking of...
This cute phone.
There's a picture from BabsCon. BabsCon was February. It wouldn't have been 2019. It would have been 2018, maybe.
What happened at BabsCon?
There's a certain picture. When was BabsCon? That was in May.
I've never
or March. It was after Winnie. No, was it before or after Winnie City?
I would have liked to go on this year. That was kind of part of the plan, but.
And that was BronyCon, so it had to have been before. So I think it was March. I had a picture of a drink I got there. It was in February. Did I go in 2018? Yeah, I had to have went in 2018. Where's my pictures?
Didn't you go last year? I see derbies.
I didn't go in 20... Well, nobody went in 2020, but I don't think I went in 20... No, I did go in 2019, but I don't think it was then. Okay, there it is. It was this... No. I have a picture of Yasho trying to drink a pony.
Consume.
But it was... Oh, no, there it is. Okay, I found it. So there's this picture. It has everything wrong with it.
Yep.
And it was like... Just try to count how many things are wrong with this picture. Let me turn up the brightness here.
Mm-hmm. Good. There you go.
Like, I had to take a picture of it because it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Like, it's rarity. Talking about oatmeal, no idea why. Yup, which is not her phrase. And why does she have like 4 exclamations worth of excitement for oatmeal?
Yep, oatmeal.
Somebody made that and had no idea what they were doing. And that was on the advertisements in the restaurant there all over the place. It was so bad.
Yeah, I still remember.
I loved it though.
We went to in the bar crawl, and they had decorated all of the bars to be ponies, and people were just wandering it off the street.
That person is just a spammer. I just can't. I have to log into my other thing.
You could be famous though. Well, I'm not a mod. You won't let me be a mod.
No, you're not. You are not. Well, no, actually, you are a VIP, I think.
Yes, but I'm not.
And now you're a subscriber.
Yay! I can get in on all the Argo Daemon.
No, you stay away from. You stay away from all my feeds or my feeds.
I can get the latest on what is happening with the horse famous Argo Daemon.
I am just Argo Daemon.
Horse famous Argo Daemon.
No.
He's like, I refuse.
Oh, come on, chat. Okay, it's not going to load chat. Oh, wow.
Well,
I can't get
I guess we stay famous.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be famous anyways. I'm going to click that link.
No, nobody clicked the link. It's Streamlabs for some reason doesn't let me do moderator type stuff from within the software, which is really weird.
I mean, if you're buying followers, you're not really famous if it's all the people watching you are bots.
But that's not most people's definition of famous is to be to have high numbers. They don't care about anything else. because they can brag about that.
I do remember that. That was.
And all they care about is getting people to click.
What that guy's talking about. The MLP DVD released in the UK. It had Dr. Wolf's OC on like the back cover or something.
Yeah.
Because somebody just grabbed the picture off.
There's been a lot of those problems. It's went the other direction, or no, that was that direction too. With Five Nights at Freddy's. With one of the game's releases, one of the preview images they put in the trailer or something had one of the models used that was a screenshot of a modified model used by another user. Wasn't an official model. It was really well done to where they really couldn't even tell the difference, but not long after it went up, they took it down when they realized that, because their big thing was, and the question that came up about it was copyright.
Yeah.
Could they say that this was mine and they could sue them for using it? Or could it be considered that the likeness of it was still following within that? So then there was the gray area of that conversation that came up. But
I just hope that the MLP2 movie comes out and there's just a red and black OC alicorn on the front cover, because that would be amazing. It's like, what's MLP? Just click horse MLP awesome.
Thanks for the follow, Raven. I'm gonna move.
I think one of the prerequisites to making covers for a DVD is you have to have actually watched at least one episode.
No, that's not how marketing teams work.
Yes.
It's they take that and then they send it in for approval, and somebody checks it off that should know better, but they're not going to check all the little minor details and stuff. They're just going to see that there was a pony, and they're not going to think like, is that connected to a specific person in a fandom?
Why is there a wolf wearing a shirt and pants?
No, I don't know what Mr. Rolsosy was. That would be great if it wasn't, but
that's what it is. It's just a wolf.
I had an interesting run-in with Dr. Wolf at BabsCon. Was the first year I was there. I ended up I went to get on the bus to go from the airport to the hotel, and I ended up sitting next to him for the ride, and I legitimately couldn't remember his name, and I felt really bad, and so I spent a lot of time like, I can't remember your name, and nice enough, he didn't actually say it until I could get it, which was really was fun, because when people were like, oh, I'm just blah blah blah, but like he's like, no, you can get it. So that was really fun. And then I was putzing on my phone, and then he figured out who I was while I was sitting there, and so then it was just a funny conversation. But I just remember sitting there for like 2 minutes on the bus ride, like, can't remember your name.
This was legit on the back of one of the Equestria Girls DVDs.
Oh my god, that is really bad.
Yeah.
That's right from his reaction video then.
Yes, they just took it from a reaction video.
Wow.
It got released. Yeah. Let's see.
That's awesome.
There's him just like really.
See, that's not even close though. That as legitimate could be an issue because he's not of a likeness.
No, it's not. It's completely his character. He could very much like go.
But then, would you really want to though?
No, because then Hasbro could come right back to his channel.
Yeah,
this is all of ours.
That's why there's certain things I haven't fought on. Well, especially for him. For me, I could at least fight that as a difference of look, because if it changes by enough of a percentage, you can then claim new ownership. And being it's going to a 3D thing, some of the stuff I could get away with, but some of them are direct audio from the show referencing names. If I had nothing like that and I was just using OCs or something, I could definitely get away with it. Yeah. But now they would say, well, because of those, that then implies that these ones are also connected, and it's just it's not worth a legal battle.
They got big lawyers there.
All they have to, it's like a lot of places do with patents, where a company will sue somebody for patent infringement, and the cost to pay them to just drop the lawsuit is cheaper than them hiring a lawyer to fight it.
Yeah.
And so then it ends up, even if they would easily win, it's cheaper to just pay it. And so it's this bullshit where I forgot, there was like that one, there was a guy for a while, he had Edge, I think it was. He had this ownership of this single word. And anytime anybody used this word, he would sue them, and he would constantly just get them into those positions until I believe it was Mirror's Edge came out, and he tried it with them, but then he went against a company with money. And it backfired. So, but until then, yeah, he was being an ass.
What was the word?
I think it was Edge.
Just Edge?
Edge.
How do you own the copyright to the word Edge?
It wasn't that. It was the way that people could use it and utilize it. I can't remember. I was pretty sure that was it because I remember Mirror's Edge being involved with it.
Yeah. It reminds me of that Futurama episode where she's like, the bomb corporation owns the word love.
Button Mash was in gray area. Button Mash was an actual character in the show. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't a likeness of. He was a legitimate actual character from the show, and there was some other stuff involved with that too. But for the most part, is he legitimately just took a character, gave it a name, and gave it a background. So that's a little different on that.
The story of Jan Animations is a long and a sad one, and it's the result of somebody trying to do the right thing and then having it bite them in the butt. Basically, long story short. Don't tell Hasbro what you're doing. As long as they can claim ignorance, they can let you do whatever you want.
Yeah, we've talked about this once before, but it's if you have a copyright on something and you don't defend it, you could potentially lose the copyright because they're not going to have you pick and choose when to defend your copyright. So if somebody has something that's infringing on your copyright, you are by law required to defend it. But if you don't know it exists, then that's fine. So if you're small enough and all that, you don't have to worry about it. But if you start waving your arms, and that's what Jan's Animation did a little bit with trying to like with applications and whatever, as soon as you start waving your arms saying, look at me, then that becomes an issue. Them's Fighting Herds had that issue where they started brought it to a public place and to do a more public thing. And then it became an issue of copyright.
I think it was Fighting is Magic was originally what it was. And the reason that got in Hasbro's face is because Lauren Faust got involved. That's why she felt responsible and decided to lend her talents to them Fighting Herds.
But they also tried to apply it to be at an actual competition, I believe.
Yeah. Well, and competition.
But like an actual like normal fighting competition. Yeah. But then it became an issue of now you're putting this into a public space, and now we see it. Yeah, they probably saw it before, but it's free advertising, and so if you don't see it, but you can't say you didn't see it at that point.
Yeah. It got
thank you, Caltran.
Too publicized essentially by in part Lauren Faust, who felt responsible after. That was my understanding, anyways. Like, she was like retweeting it and talking about it and being like, hey, look at this.
Well, even them retweeting it, at least from her perspective, is one thing. But like if it's when you're trying to legitimately put it in their face, or you are putting it in a more open venue to where people could confuse it with what is official, that's where it becomes a problem. Because if people are thinking that it's official, especially if they're putting like branding on there that looks official, then they have to be like, okay, well now you're going to make people think that this is us. And that's a problem because we have no quality control in there and we want our cut. We want money.
Still got a pretty decent game out of it.
Oh yeah. No, Them Fighting Herds is still very successful.
No, I can't.
It probably got more successful than it would have been if it was Pony. Because you have a much, much, much larger player base.
I can't help but feel like the vast majority of that player base is still just horse fans.
But there's a lot of people outside of it, And then they to me, it's probably better that way because it's better into the future. And they can make more use of it. Now they can make a second one after the Pony fandom has started to decrease that can still go off on its own and be fine. Mm-hmm. And they don't have to pay royalties to any company. They probably, actually, if it was Pony, they wouldn't have been able to monetize it.
They definitely wouldn't be able to have Lauren Faust writing stories.
No, they wouldn't have been able to monetize it.
Yeah.
They can't sell a product with the characters in there. So this way they're doing well.
Yeah. And Lauren Faust is writing stories for it, so that's pretty awesome. She's writing the main story for the game.
Anyways, it is past 9, so we are done for today. But that is fine. It is Friday. It is weekend. Where we gotta put? There's Michael. Why am I exceptionally white? You got to pack.
I gotta do laundry and pack.
But yeah, so he's gone for the next week. And so he's going to be gone away. And then I am streaming tomorrow in about 14 hours from now. I'm streaming on YouTube. It's doing the like post video AMA, behind the scenes type stuff. So if you want to check that out, that's tomorrow and at 11 a.m. my time. And otherwise, yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday. Thanks for everybody for coming and the support and all that. Thanks, Kel Chan, for banning people.
Yes, we could have been famous.
We could have been famous, but you protected us from fandom. So thank you guys. And again, for anybody that had questions and stuff, I stream every Tuesday and Friday at 6 p.m. my time, so 3 hours from earlier from now. So if you have any other questions, feel free to stop by and ask questions. I have no problem answering them as long as I'm able to answer them. Like, I don't know Graph Editor that well, but I'll do my best. So yeah, have a good one. Say bye to Mike. Bye, Mike.
Bye, and thanks for all the fish. That's a reference.
Your hair is like exceptionally frizzy today.
It is amazing.
With the blue hair, you kind of look like
I've gone anime.
It's kind of like Rick. That's
powering up.
No, you're like Rick from Rick and Morty.
Oh, Rick and Morty. He's good. Yeah.
Like Derby's best pony.
Pony. Yes, my hair is sticking up.
It's kind of glowing.
It is glowing. It's blue.
I don't have a mouse to point over there. So okay, we'll see you guys later. Have Kitty and the Michael song. Was the Michael song playing?
I hope somebody would say
I don't know because I didn't click mute. No, it couldn't have. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Nobody questioned it. That'd be pretty funny. Everybody, see, it's called indoctrination. That's the sound of me taking over their brains.